Gonna make some coffee, guys. I'll be right there. We got 23 minutes before the stream starts. Thanks. "23 minutes for their stream to start. We will start before." Heating up that coffee right now. Thank you guys for coming in. Mic is working. Is the chat actually working today? It looks like so far it's working. I kind of rearranged the monitor screen a little better for, you know, you know, I should have done this a long time ago. You know, kind of move things around a little bit. Discord about BDO, yeah. I didn't read it completely, but I mean, BDO is always a game that I would love to go back and play again. I downloaded all the updates just like a week ago. Let's see, who came in first? Hello is first. Kat Fielderson, thank you. Moonraven, thank you. You guys all excited for today to learn about the new class in Diablo Immortal? Are you excited for that? Let's go, Diablo Immortal, let's go! Diablo Immortal is going to get covered first. Aunt Sally from YouTube, thank you. Thank you, people from YouTube. Yeah, it's the highlight of the week, really. Zelgod's here, thank you. Yukin, thank you. Gale Play is here, thank you. Thank you guys. Are you guys... I think you guys are being purposely chatty for a particular reason. And I just can't put my finger on it. Hold on, let me get my coffee. No, when they start, we'll get the sound right, to get the volume right and everything. I like this. I like this layout I put together. Did in like 2 minutes. And then we'll go, so there's 15 minutes there, and there's the chat. I thought this was a pretty good write-up right here. Like, I asked myself why I could farm, I don't know what that is, Diablo 2 people. It didn't make sense to me. My feedback is all either loot-related or at least loot-adjacent. So I thought this was some interesting things in here that I think a lot of people, you know, you're never going to agree with everything. But I thought it was pretty, like, you know, you gain 85% of your power early into the game. There exists uniques that literally just make your character weaker. No, legendary powers are far too numerous, and the game is balanced around this. They were a bad idea, and only unique should exist. Some interesting things in here. How's it going, 813? Thanks for coming in from YouTube. Looks like the chat is holding. That chat is holding. Chevron 6 is holding. Let me get my coffee. I'll be right back. Cover today's dev stream. Take notes. And but unfortunately, first part of it, it's going to be Diablo Immortal. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's like... Don't you think an entire stream deserves to be just for Diablo 4? They're taking the opportunity to pump Diablo Immortal. Do you feel like you're being slapped in the face, or is this just the world we live in today? It's like, well, it's free content here for you to look at, and we're going to do it the way we want. Maybe they'll start running McDonald's commercials. I don't know. I don't know what's next. For them to try to monetize you, to get you to do something. You're here for one thing, get you to do something else. You know, who knows? Exotics. Someone was saying today that Destiny is really becoming pay to win, or MTX heavy. MTX heavy. I don't know. I don't play that game. I haven't for years. Let me get the coffee. Get this tweet out too. Tweet. Tweet. Yeah, if anyone should know, Gail should know. Tweet. Tweet. Live on Kick. I love it, dude. Live on Kick. I love it. I love it. Like, I just love it. I just, like, Just to be able to say, just to get away from Twitch. It's such a good feeling, guys. They're all tweeting about TwitchCon. Just to get away from frickin' Twitch. Live on Kick, Diablo 4 Season 1, dev stream coverage, blah, 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 blah. Love it. Don't you just love it? Chicka-boom, chicka-boom. Don't you just love it? Chicka-boom, boom, boom. Hey, 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 hey. Guess what I was watching today? Anyone know anything? Anyone hyped for Manor Lords? I'm watching a bunch of videos on this stuff. Looks like it's going to be pretty good for a build-it game. Now, City Skylines, I was looking at, it's just going to be it's going to be like, I don't know about City Skylines. Yeah. Destiny, yeah, I don't know. Destiny, I mean, those are the guys that made Halo. Oh, yeah, good gunplay. Yeah. I mean, those guys made Halo. Start calling Twitch, like the doc says, the purple snakes. Ooh, is that what Doc says? Tim the Tatman was started streaming today. I think Doc is on vacation, plus he's working on other things. He's working on a new game and whatever it is. Manor Lords, guys. This is going to be interesting. I'm gonna be looking into that.
Welcome to Manor Lords.
War Tales I haven't heard of.
In this video, I'd like to introduce you to some of the core mechanics.
City Skylines is just not, I don't think it's going to be for me.
Trade and military recruitment.
We need more workers here.
The map in Manor Lords is divided into regions.
I think this is launching this year.
Resources as well as a development.
Yeah, I want
when you upgrade the residential buildings in the
I want to extract lumber, iron, materials. I want to extract, and then, you know, and then either have machines build things or have workers build things is fine with me. You know, it's perfectly fine with me, you know. But I want to start with bare bones. Yeah, colony stuff. This would be my first one. I think I'm going to buy this game, Manor Lords. I want to start with bare land, and start building extracts. That's why I love Satisfactory so much, because you start with just bare land. You know, I may end up getting this game. I think it's this. I don't know if it's in October or is that City Skylines. I don't know which one it is.
Region, you get development points, which you can spend to unlock new development branches.
9 minutes already?
This means that different legions may specialize in different things. Some may be more optimized for farming, some for mining, and some will process the resources to make expensive goods, like shoes or clothing.
I want to build an economy and...
Depending on the optimization of your production chains, the price of the goods will change, affecting the market attractiveness. Free merchants will travel more frequently to towns that have rare and more affordable goods. These merchants are the only way to get wealth in the game.
Merchants. Merchants traveling back and forth, you know. I'm going to get this game. Manor Lords. I think it's coming out TBA 2023. And then here's City Skylines. This is probably going to be up to... I don't know if I'm going to like this. But this is going to be big. City Skylines. I may look at some of these. Yeah, I want to start with bare land. Thank you for the follow, 813. Appreciate that. We're getting close to 75, guys. Well, you know. At 75, I can get affiliated. And then I'll sit here and beg you for subs. $37,000 people. Those are some of the observations I make. What is the big question for today? Huh? No, you know what we do here? We put our... We don't... You know... No one covers dev streams like we do. What is the big question today? I'll tell you what my big question is. We need... Like... what's the date on Season 1? We don't know anything about the details of the content. That's obviously a big question. I'm looking beyond that. When does Season 1 start? Yeah, Kick Prime, yeah. I got the cheapest viewers. You guys are the cheapest, man. You freaking penny pinching. That's why I like you. A penny saved is a penny earned. Remember the Volkswagen driving? Of course not. Yeah, Taco Bell, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to... yes, the problem with City Skylines is they keep selling you DLC. So it's kind of like you don't know, like, before you know, you got 10 different DLCs you're paying for or whatever. I don't know. I think I'd like to start with... I think Manor Lords is more digestible for me. They got 42,000 people, and so my question is, when does Season 1 start? Like, they have to be careful, because they don't want to start it on the 18th. I hope they don't start it July 18th, because the behemoth of MMOs is launching their new mod on July 18th. Neverwinter's new mod is on July 18th. So I'm sure Blizzard had an all-hands meeting this morning when they said, well, we got to change the date from July 18th because Neverwinter's launching a new mod on July 18th, and we can't compete with them. The 10 people that are still playing that game, oh, we can't. Hey. Let's make some adjustments here. You guys, just wait till we get this really good loyalty system on Kick. We'll get those sound alerts going again. I know it's a little bit, do emotes, you know. I know it's not the same, you know. You got a fish that's frickin' got its mouth open, squiggling around. That's the best we could do right now. You know, we're at ground floor here. We're at ground floor over here on Kick. Hey, boss, always wanted to work on a transmission. You know, that's what it's like over here. Yeah, you guy farming XP. Yeah. I believe in the future of Kick. Here I am streaming a stream that's on Twitch. Okay, they got 49,000 people. That's pretty damn good. Could have been in what? Yeah, the new mod for Neverwinter looks like it's just an add-on for what they already just did. It looks like an add-on. It looks like what should have already been there. These people, man, they got their heads up their ass. They got one foot out the door. Everyone there, they're just always doing stuff just to work on their resume over there. There's Steel Mage. So you got all the heavies here. By the way, gonna get that kick. I don't know how many levels there are. That's through Botrix, by the way. Your levels. Yeah, when's the pally coming? Guys, I haven't played Diablo 4 in how long? I don't even know now. A lot of it is this right here. This person kind of nails it for me. I've gone 20 levels without really any like huge gear drops, you know. I got my best piece of gear 10 minutes into World Tier 4, my best weapon. Just doesn't seem right to me. I mean, it's not, the paragons are not enough. So the way I look at it is I'm not mad. I just feel like, okay, I completed the game. Now we wait for future content. That's how I look at it. I'm not going to rage at Diablo 4. Game just came out. In 2 years, this game's going to look completely different. July 29th? Oh, is that ExileCon? That's way too late, though. I got the house to myself till July 20-something. I want it this weekend. How about this weekend, you freaks? This weekend. So I could start a druid. A druid. Probably the most balanced class, wouldn't you say, is the druid in Diablo 4? All around best balanced class, maybe. We already got 100 messages today. Did you guys see that? Do you see it, or do I just see it? We've received 100 messages. The rogue is good, but the play style. 12 years to get to this point, 2 years is... Yeah. Well, I don't know, Zell. No. They haven't been working on this game that long. That's just since Diablo 3. Zell, they haven't been working on Diablo 4 for 12 years. Diablo 3 came out 12 years ago. They've been busy sexually harassing all their employees during that time. So they've only been working on Diablo 4, you know, just a few years, Zell. Come on. Yeah, the +5 stats on the paragons. That's brutal, dude. Brutal. Guys, we're getting ready to get going here. Did I say something wrong? Did I overstep something here? I don't think so.
Hello. That's it? That's how you open? Hello. I'm going to do that every single time.
Hello.
Welcome.
Let me get the volume good.
Another Diablo developer update live stream. My name is Adam Fletcher. I am the community director for the Diablo franchise. We've got some wonderful people here. We just have Rod.
Yeah, Did he bring cookies this time?
Yeah. He decided to insert himself as of yesterday, so...
what is the power? If you have power, you should use it whenever possible, and I've decided to.
This guy interrupts everyone.
Who is, of course, the general manager of the Diablo
universe? Yeah.
I guess that's the best way
All
to say
things Diablo.
Can't use the word franchise.
Pierre's not here now.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. And of course, we have Chris Leal.
Lead UX designer on Immortal.
And
I thought he would have brought a pizza to the meeting.
So we are actually starting
Diablo Immortal
with some Diablo Immortal conversations. Also, I do want to mention we're using new fancy mics today. We've been joking around, and I call them the Britney Spears mic.
Right.
Rod calls them the Janet Jackson mic.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
I'm telling you, most of the people in chat didn't even read the dev blog. They don't even know that they're going to be talking about Diablo Immortal. They don't even know till now.
And the ability to put that little wire around this size of noggin is impossible. So therefore, I've passed.
Disappointing. But he does have a really good impression of Britney Spears.
I am not doing it now. I am not doing it.
Most of the people here don't
I'll
know.
my shirt later. It'll be good.
Rod, I would like to, if I had a party, I would like to have Rod at my party. He'll keep the conversation going.
Twitch chat. We'll make sure to bring that up during Q&A.
He might be the only one left by the end of the night, though.
I think it's important that, like, last time you clarified what we were doing was the campfire, which is more of a casual, we're just kind of giving updates. You know, we just want to be able to talk to the community.
Yes.
This is more of a developer stream, so it's a bit more official.
Yes.
But one of the things we wanted to recognize too is that, like, as a family of games, there's lots of cool stuff happening within in Diablo, and so we want to take we don't always want to just be focused on just D4. We want, anytime there's something big or really interesting happening within Diablo, we want to be able to talk about it. You know, I could imagine we're going to have a Season 29 conversation for Diablo 3 at some point in the future. And so one of the things we're going to look at, to do today was not just talk about, you know, we are definitely going to talk about Season 1 on Diablo 4.
How's it going, Zini?
For some reason, Adam has structured this to be as tantric as possible. We'll get there, trust us, but it's going to take a minute. So, but what we really want to look at as well is we want to talk about a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about what's the preseason before we go into Season 1. We're going to talk about, you know, what's going on with D4 today, because we actually have some news about today. Another tease, didn't mean that.
Preseason.
And
Tantric.
and then we want to talk a little bit about Diablo Immortal, because something pretty incredible is happening in Diablo Immortal.
It's a new
which
class.
is, in nearly a decade, we're having our first new Diablo character class is being revealed. And we wanted to reveal it here on this stream. So, you know, one of the great things about Blizzard is the SFD team, Story and Franchise, and Blizzard Video, and everything that they do around cinematics. And we thought, how could we introduce a new character class without having a kick-ass video to go with it? So, without further ado, may we present to you the new Diablo character class coming to Diablo Immortal very, very soon.
This is an admission that D4 sucks, is what this is. Just kidding.
The darkness has always been with us. And humanity is right to fear it.
Yeah, thanks, Aunt Sally, for being here. What class is this, by the way? Why don't they bring this to Diablo 4? The Blood Knight? What are you doing?
And wield it in defiance.
This is not fair. This is going to be a hard act to follow.
He is right to
How do you follow this act?
I am a blood
Let's
knight.
talk about corruption in Diablo 4. Look at the chat. By the time this is over, half the people playing Diablo 4 are going to go be playing Immortal. $89,000 viewers, broskies. Blood Knight, I don't even know anything about it.
And there we have it.
Okay,
The
you can
new
go now.
Class coming to Diablo.
Can we talk
and
about Diablo 4
Immortal.
now?
It's the Blood Knight.
July 13th. That's
July
like
13th.
a little
July
over a week
13th?
away.
Exactly.
Sounds like there might have been some encoding issues.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that some people are talking about there's a little bit of hitching on it and so forth. I will say that we actually do have that trailer that will be on a blog on DiabloImmortal.com immediately after this.
I played Diablo Immortal. I streamed it, remember, guys? So I have a little bit of background.
along with all the details that we're about to talk about. We just like to get ahead of ourselves. That's all. But obviously, first new class to the Diablo universe in nearly 10 years. I think there's a lot of questions in regards to like the story and so forth behind the Blood Knight. Ryan, give us a little bit of background regarding the Blood Knight itself.
Yeah, sure. So I think historically, when we released DI, we released it with these sort of 6 very, very familiar, very stalwart classes that all of us love, that many of us have
That's
been
right, that's
playing
what I was
for
thinking.
decades. And
First new
it's
class in
great
10
to kind of
years,
indulge in that
and they put it in
nostalgia. It's great to
Immortal.
get that dopamine hit of playing a classic, but
The game
after 6
where
classes,
you
it's like
can
the
spend
opportunity to do
your
something
entire life
different
savings if you so choose.
and different, to do a supernatural class that's kind of monstrous, that does things that our other dark classes like the Necromancer and the Demon Hunter don't do. And so
buy
we're
power,
really,
by
really
the way.
stoked about the opportunity to release the
Asmongold.
Blood Knight
That's what
on everybody.
Asmongold is going to look like in 30
Yeah,
years.
I know, like, obviously everyone's
10
kind of
years.
seeing the Blood Knight and they're thinking, like, is this, like, vampiric in some sort of way? Or, like, how does this...
Look at the
How
chat.
does this fit in with the actual lore
Right.
within Diablo?
Right, so the fine details are Blood Knights and vampires are intertwined. On Sanctuary, vampires are kind of like living plagues. They go from hunting ground to hunting ground. They kill people, they bite people, and sometimes people who they've bitten, they suffer this monstrous transformation. They start to devolve into what we call thralls, kind of like lesser vampiric beings, long teeth, hunger for blood, all that stuff. And a Blood Knight is a person who, through means of an ancient ritual, has that curse of thraldom arrested inside them, frozen essentially in place. They get some advantages, but they get some drawbacks too.
What do you mean, the curse of turning into a thrall is a drawback?
Well, their thraldom is essentially
D4.
pause. So basically what happens is a Blood Knight, also preternaturally strong and fast, can see in the dark, can smell blood from a mile away, doesn't age anymore, as you've seen in the concept art, very, very fancy. But on the flip side, you know, they have these blood red eyes, they have black veins in their face,
right.
Makes people uncomfortable. and maybe,
why.
Yeah, I know, right? And sort of more pivotally than that, you know, deep inside their soul, there is an abomination, a monstrous darkness that hungers for violence. And in order to tamp that down, in order to slow their transformation further, they have to perform a ritual. That keepsake that you saw in our cinematic character's right hand, the little thing on the chain.
Oh, the chain, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically their lifeline.
So like a link to their past?
Yeah. It's got a memento within of the last place that they were kind of truly human.
Right.
And so every morning, noon, and night, they're doing ablutions with this thing to hopefully continue to keep the darkness at bay. But, you know, it's a process.
Right.
The ritual, it's hearsay. You know, it's been passed down for hundreds of years. And for basically every Blood Knight...
That guy right there lives in a very dark cellar
some point.
somewhere.
All Blood Knights are doomed to one day...
He lives in a place like
They
this.
don't know if that's 1 day, 1 year, 1,000 years.
Could be
they don't
centuries,
know.
right?
Yeah.
They're very, very long-lived. What they do know and what they pledge on is that they're going to use all of the time they have left to push back the darkness. And ultimately for them, since that is such an uncertain question, it's really about their inner sense of balance. Can I do enough good to make up for the evil that will rise when I'm gone?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out because we had the art up there earlier, and that art is.
How many minutes are they going to spend on Diablo Immortal,
at the same
guys?
Time, they're very pretty. I've been joking about it.
How
I'm
many
like,
minutes?
Oh, look, they're so pretty.
Well, if you were going to turn into a monster, you'd want to stop over here, right?
Because they're very.
Look at
like,
this.
They're very like gorgeous here, and then they turn into the abomination, which is really funny to see. So it's like a complete like opposite of what it is.
I mean, you mentioned the abomination. I think we saw the Blood Knight turn into this creature during that. So what actually is going on here? Like this is a.
Yeah, are we done?
I guess Chris will talk eventually about like how the abomination.
Guys, they're doing a deep dive into
them
Diablo
tapping
Immortal.
Into what's inside them to change form.
This is a Diablo Immortal
they're
stream.
letting the curse off the leash just a little bit. It's going to grant them extreme power in the short term.
This is the Bruce Banner Hulk.
Fox
but maybe there's a
Warrior
little
Gaming,
anime
thanks for the
teardrop
follow.
there of like, do
Thank
I
you
know?
kindly. This is a Diablo Immortal stream.
Awesome. Well,
I'm in the
I
wrong
know with
category.
Blood Knight, obviously, like it's new class. How does it fit, Chris, into the like a gameplay style? Like, what if you're playing at Blood Knight? What can you expect the style to be as a person that's actually jumping into Diablo?
Yeah, so the Blood Knight is actually a melee hybrid class, meaning there's tons of up-close combat with polearms.
Look at the chat.
However, they have a host of shadow and blood abilities they can use to manipulate.
You
the
guys got
battlefield in their
played.
favor.
Read the blog
I think
next time.
the
You got
drawback
played.
Of Blood Knights might be that
As soon as I saw
players
the
that start
blog,
playing it might feel that their mobility is limited.
I'm like, this is going to be a Diablo
they have
Immortal
tons
stream.
of legendary essences to help them improve the ability to close the gap on enemies, as well as life-stealing abilities to help them sustain.
I just want to know the
sustained
date
length
on
of
season
combat
1.
sequences.
Got it. So like in
what do you
combat
mean,
more
who asked? I don't
often, close combat, so they're essentially
Blood
taking more
Golem?
damage, but then they have
Okay, here
abilities
comes some,
themselves to actually essentially drain, as we can see, kind of like life from others, essentially replenish their life while they're in combat.
The kebab attack, as I like to call it.
The skewer.
The skewer attack is my favorite thing right now. I was like, so what's happening there? We saw it in the trailer. We see it here as well, is where they're basically able to stab an enemy, smash it around like as if on the end of a hammer. So that's
Twitch chat.
Chris is like, yeah, that's basically it.
Diablo Immortal's free to play. Go try it out.
Stun as well, right? It's not just the attack on the one thing that you skewered. It actually
This actually looks pretty good.
It has an area.
Yeah, so the Blood Knight
Reskin of something? Okay.
stabs their polearm forward into the closest enemy, then swings overhead the enemy and slams it into the ground.
This looks familiar,
small
doesn't it?
AoE. And there are also
Yeah, it's hard to come up with anything new.
essences that lunge forward or actually leap.
Yeah, if this
to
was just
perform
Immortal,
slam.
no one would be
Oh,
watching.
nice. Yeah, it's awesome.
And then I know, like, of course, with every class in Immortal, they all have different ultimates depending on their primary attack skills and so forth. Like, what
I
kind
liked
of, two
Immortal
different ultimates
until I
can
realized
expect with the Blood Knight?
Yeah, I could
it's
talk a bit
really
about the
good.
primary
You need
attacks.
group.
The
It's
first
group
is
play.
Ravage.
Really heavy on group
They're
play.
basically swinging their polearm around in a 3-hit combo, and right here is the ultimate where they.
And I don't have enough
become
people
a
I know to
5-hit
play
combo
with.
a stun at the end. And
Dual wielding pole arms. That's I like.
And the other primary attack they have.
Someone
is
needs to
called
see how
Shattered
long
Edge.
they've been doing
It's
this.
quite a unique one. It's the first in Immortal where.
It seems like forever. It's only been 15
In
minutes.
melee range, the Blood Knight will do a slash, and for enemies that are further away, they'll
This
actually
looks very
throw the dagger
familiar.
forward. And there are legendary essences that add damage over time or
Torchlight.
make the dagger ricochet.
Why are people
Nice,
still
so you
talking
can
about Torchlight?
essentially, it's good room clear
Lost Ark?
type of abilities is what I'm hearing. So if you got a ton of mobs in front of you, especially if the daggers are ricocheting and you mentioned piercing and so forth with the ultimate and everything, you can essentially clear out whole rooms with that. So it's awesome.
The-
to
oh, the
hear.
artillerist.
I know, as you mentioned beforehand,
100,000 guys.
Tons of
There are over 100,000
legendary essences
viewers.
and everything that are associated to kind of modify
Blizzard
skills.
headquarters must be so
I know,
ecstatic right
and
now.
We're even seeing here.
We're
this is
pumping
like
Diablo
the
Immortal where there's
abomination that we were talking
100,000
about
people
before.
watching.
Why would I want to
On Twitch alone.
What do I get from that?
Yeah, so I'll talk about the Abomination a bit. The way it works is it is a transformative skill that requires defeating enemies to fill the bar, much like your ultimate.
Right.
However, it happens much more often, and it then transforms
Guys,
your entire
101,000.
skill bar into a new primary attack, followed by two specific skills: a Blood Rush, where the Blood Knight actually dashes forward in a ball of blood. And then there's a 3-hit combo attack where if on the last hit they fly into the air and slam the ground, stunning everything. A lot of stuns.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. That's awesome to see. I think with this update that's coming out on the 13th and the Blood Knight itself.
13th?
And there are like even other components and that are kind of going to be coming with this actual update. Do you guys have any like additional information on?
Well, there's ways to play it, right? Like,
Yeah.
so the things that's really interesting. Like, this is, I think, having a new character class introduced on basically the anniversary of Diablo Immortal is really exciting. Like, it's a great way to celebrate 1 year that Immortal has been at. It's hard to believe it's already been a year. It's crazy. But so having a new character, but I've been like a whirlwind barbarian for a year now, and loving
13th.
that. And so now I'm going to obviously. Well, one of the great things about Immortal is that you can class change. So I can take my Paragon 500 Barbarian. I know that's not high. Thank you very much. I can take my Paragon 500 Barbarian and turn it into a Blood Knight. Yes. Like, there's basically three ways. We have the player who's been playing for a year, like myself. We have the new player, and we have the test driver.
You don't
right?
share
Is the way to think
storage
about
in
that, so
Diablo
maybe we can go
Immortal
through that.
with your
Yeah,
alts.
totally. So if you're brand new to Immortal and have never played before, you can play the Blood Knight right out of the gate, create a new character completely free, and start with the main story complete with
I may do this.
custom Blood Knight VO
What date is
lines
it?
for all
July
the main quests.
13th?
And for players like Rod who have been playing for a while and want to convert to this class,
When's the
I'm
13th?
happy to say that we've made some major improvements to class change. Strength and intelligence.
Maybe I
will
should
now
play.
convert properly.
Huge. I know it's a huge request that a lot of people are asking for. Yes.
Yes, it's going to be great. And also, players will be able to, during the event, change to the Blood Knight on a one-day cooldown, and also revert back infinitely. So
So I can make a
if
Blood
you
Knight right
decide
away.
You don't like playing the Blood Knight, you can revert the day of, or if you want to try it again tomorrow, you can go ahead and change back into Blood Knight.
Nice. Awesome.
And lastly, I want to talk about the Crimson Plane event. So for Immortal players that are familiar with Fractured Plane,
The
There will be a
snacks.
special Crimson
Best
Flame
dummy.
event where there'll be
So for the, I mean, I think a lot maybe don't know what Fractured Plane. So maybe just what's the 5-second version of what is Fractured Plane?
So Fractured Plane is basically a roguelite inside of Immortal where you're able to try out all of the skills and abilities and build.
Guys, I think we're going to stream on the 13th, Diablo Immortal for the new class.
Try out different skills.
You basically start with a fresh class, and so you're taking your character.
The first season
I have
for
a very
Diablo 4 is going to be
specific build
after
with very
that.
specific gear. But if I wanted to go play Fractured Planes, it says, "Oh, you're a barbarian. Here's some random skills. See how far you can get with this," and you build up your gear and stuff as you're playing through this roguelike experience. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so now for the Blood Knight
103,000
introduction, you've created Crimson Planes, which is a version of the same experience to go and test drive all the different.
You
Blood
can't
Knight
share
Exactly.
inventory
So
with
you'll
your
be able to try
alts.
out different skills and legendary essences without actually committing to changing to the class. So you just try it out, see if you like it, and if you do, there's always class change available.
Nice.
Nice.
Who's with
That's
me?
awesome to hear. So we have, and we have other things like I mentioned that are coming in this actual update.
Guys,
I know that
it's a frickin' Diablo
for
Immortal
any
stream,
new
and you
player
just
that's coming
you got
in, of course,
everyone
they can
got
create a Blood
played.
Knight, how we mentioned beforehand, customize it, and it's completely free. And then of course any existing character can do class changes if they want, or they can create a new character.
The
if
last
they want
5
to do
minutes
it
of
that
the
way as
stream.
well.
Oh, by the way,
but I know we have like a new
Diablo
legendary
4, we're
gem
coming
that's
out
gonna
with
be coming in
corruption
this
for
actual
season
update,
1
as well. And then we even have just other like items associated with this specific patch that'll be hitting
full
as
set
well.
of legendaries for the
Exactly.
Blood Knight too.
Yeah,
which is
and
great.
we're actually going to be listing out every single legendary
blog, yeah.
that is available for the Blood Knight on our blog immediately after the stream. So you guys can check out the cinematic trailer that we showed off for the Blood Knight earlier.
Free to try.
On that blog.
You
And
can
of course,
play
we have
Diablo
all the
Immortal for
details
free.
about what's coming in this update that is hitting.
The big
on
thing about
the,
Diablo
13th of
Immortal, in my
July, so
opinion,
soon.
is it's best to
crazy.
have people to play with. You ain't got to spend a penny.
We do. We're super stoked. The cinematic is amazing, by the way. I just want to
104,000
For people who
viewers.
didn't get to see it in full frame rate, you're basically rubbing their noses in it.
Essentially, yeah, like
Go watch it again, please.
See it in the Blizzard Cinematics team. Amazing team. That cinematic is great. Nothing like seeing blood splattered all over some stained glass. It's Diablo, so it makes perfect sense. It's great. But we
I like this guy.
Are
I
super
like this
stoked.
guy.
So yeah, July 13th.
He's better
is
than
when it's gonna be
Julia.
coming out. And then of course, again, check DiabloImmortal.com immediately after the stream.
Is that saying
we'll have
much?
a blog up there for people to check out. All the
Yeah,
details.
congratulations, guys, on the
Yep.
year. It's been an amazing year for Immortal. And I think people who maybe tried it at launch and haven't gone back to take a look at it, like
Yeah.
basically every
Check out
quarter,
Diablo
we
Immortal
do
again.
we do major updates and really change
Those
the
of you
games,
that
the
are-
ability to craft set items, the ability to take your duplicate legendaries and turn that into
Already
a currency
burnt out
so
on
you can make
Diablo
your
4, you
current
have an
legend,
option.
stronger, and the way that you do dungeons now, like and the tower, the clan play, like there's
They
just
got
so much
3
else going
Diablos,
on. So
guys.
it's a free-to-play
3,
game. If you want to go check
4,
it out
and
just to
Immortal.
see all the changes. Like I said, there's been in a year. It's
Chat's gonna wake
to me,
up.
It's a completely different
Everyone's
game
better
in the
than
sense
Julia.
of the different ways that you can approach the content, which is exciting. But hearing the fact that you fully recorded all VO for the Blood Knight for the campaign,
t-shirt guy.
I think it'll be exciting to go back and start over.
Yeah, it's about 2,000 lines in total. We've got.
Wonder
a pair of
what the
really,
salaries
really
are here
awesome
in this
voice
room.
actors. Abby Trott and Ben Prendergast absolutely killed it as the Blood Knight. It's just pure.
These guys are making some
haughtiness
bucks.
and bloodlust and action all the way through.
Yeah.
They've got some interesting.
Let's do
takes
a
on,
Diablo
I was gonna say the
Diablo-a-thon.
name of the
We'll
villain,
start
or
with
Act
2,
3
3,
villain in Dark
4,
Lord.
and
Some
Immortal.
interesting perspectives there, but yeah, I don't think there's ever really
2,
been a better
3,
time to
Immortal, then
reroll
4.
to start a new run through the main story.
A Diablo-a-thon.
Thank you guys very much and congratulations.
Thanks so much,
thank you.
Rod. We're stoked.
Stream over.
And we're going to be now switching over to D4 content. We're actually going to take like a really short break because we got to swap people in. This room's only so big, and we also need mics.
I'd like
off
to
of
have a
people and
room like
everything,
that.
But, we're going to be swapping in
106,000 viewers. They're gonna take a break.
A minute or so.
And show what? Diablo Immortal again? Diablo Immortal again? Yeah, if they're in California, so 200K minimum plus bennies, stock options. How many times have we seen this? You know what they should do today? You know what they should do? They're in Irvine. I could drive down there. It depends on the traffic. I can be there in less than an hour. I think they're in Irvine. They're at the Orange Crush. where all these freeways meet. I've driven by there many times. I used to drive down to get my taxes done. Yeah, so I think it's Irvine. Yeah, it's Irvine is like the lady that did our taxes years ago, 10, 15 years ago. She's a friend of the family. She's like, come and move to Irvine. Come and move to Irvine. I'm like, I'd love to. Do you want to loan me $1 million? Houses were expensive back then in Irvine. It's a master plan community. One of the few, like, conservative areas of California. Guys, so what do you think? Okay, so they already talked about Diablo Immortal, new class. It kind of makes me want to play on the 13th. It depends on, I mean, like right now, I am just bored to tears in Diablo 4. I haven't played in a week. There's just I just need more, I need more chase items. You know what I mean? I need more chase items. Chasing Paragon points is not enough, you know. 110,000. Yeah, that's the problem for me is, I want to make an alt. I want to make a druid. I actually think I might like the druid more than the barb. I'm starting to regret my choice. The barb is great with the shouts and everything, but I just feel pigeonholed right now. I'd like to make a druid, but when do I do it? We got to wait and see the details of Season 1. And see if it's, maybe I should wait. And then we need the date. When is Season 1?
And we're back.
What happened to the awkward hello? You're supposed to go, hello.
That's going to be my intro for
I'm technically
everything.
not back.
Wait.
Well, you are technically back. I mean, you were in other streams and other times.
Correct.
I'm not back. I'm new.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Tim is new. Tim also has the best
Try
voice
each class?
in the world.
Yeah. Wow.
So Tim is just going to
I pretty much have.
Okay.
And-
Moonraven's been playing
Actually
heavy.
introduce people.
Heavy.
I'm
Holy
going to
frick,
introduce
dude.
people. We are now joined by our wonderful Diablo 4 developers. We have Tim Ismay. May I introduce
Oh, Ismay.
Hello, Tim Ismay. I'm one of the lead producers on Diablo 4, specifically focused on seasons. I say that because if you ask me questions outside of the season's context, I have no idea what's going on.
This guy's the season man.
There's more than one season.
I'm trying to build more than one season.
Yeah. There is more than one season. That's going to be, we're revealing that.
or that's job security right there.
I'm actually just asking for it.
Wait, we're supposed to be thinking about job security? Damn it.
And we have a familiar face.
Joey P.
Yes, I'm Joe Papora. I'm the Associate Game Director for the live service, and I'm excited to talk about Season 1 today, at last.
But first.
But first,
But first, Diablo Immortal.
Adam has built everything possible to talk about except the season.
We can never start talking about seasons until we talk about something else first. But there are cool things to actually talk about.
correct. We, obviously, it's been a little over a month since Diablo 4's launched.
It's only been a month.
Is it? Well,
And you're launching seasons
Yeah, you're
already.
right. It is. Like, I always, the amount of feedback we get about, like, hey, this thing, and you're like, it's been like 5 weeks. Like,
Exactly.
give us a
112,000
second.
viewers.
So,
And now for
has
your
been,
D3 update.
A month, a little bit more than a month since Diablo 4 has
wait,
actually
how did you
launched.
guys get a season done in 4 weeks? That's incredible.
We started it well before the game launched.
that's smart.
No, they're going to tell us about this premium battle pass is what they're going to tell us.
So you
I don't want to get in the
started
weeds,
before the
everybody.
game
I don't
launched?
want to get in the weeds, everybody, but like we did start before the game launched to make sure that we could actually release
I thought you were just going to say
something.
zombies are really easy to make, and so therefore it was.
Yeah,
oh my
obviously,
god.
that's what it is. Okay.
Also, people are saying that your mic is low, Mr. Joey P.
My
no.
mic
Yeah,
is low.
so I don't
Okay,
know if
I'll bring it in a little
we'll
bit.
fix that. I promise. Live broadcast, everyone.
I can project everybody.
Yeah,
That's
he
what's
can-
going to take.
He can start screaming.
Just scream at everybody.
And you haven't seen
So I
Joey P
interrupted. So
scream.
you,
Sorry.
you're talking
Sorry.
about the 5 week. I was just shocked by the 5 week thing, but anyway. So yes, it's been 5
so
weeks.
obviously it's been 5 weeks since we launched. We've had numerous updates to the game, hot fixes, patches. We actually had a campfire chat in between, where we talked about even a big update that was coming before season 1.
13-page.
Yes,
Yeah.
13-page. Which people are like, well, that must have been like 14-point font, double space.
Did
I'm
we get the
like,
update
maybe
or
it
not?
was. But it still was very big. It was like 11.
That was the
pages
one
that
they
went
did.
on the actual site. But we've addressed a lot of feedback and everything related to the game. We still have more feedback that we're actually going to be addressing. And I will say that later this afternoon there is going to be another patch, climb patch.
Patch today.
Spoilers or announcement. We will have patch 104. That's going to be hitting all platforms later this afternoon. There will be patch notes posted this afternoon. Very much not as chonky as 103, but it does address additional.
We're not getting notes till
feedback
later.
and issues that people have been reporting over to us in the actual
one?
patch notes.
Come on, put you on the spot.
Funny enough, did I actually have this printed out?
I don't think you can say that 1.04 is coming this afternoon and not give an example of something we're fixing.
Yeah, come on, post this stuff, you
I know that
loser.
they are actually doing a gameplay fix in regards to, or a gameplay adjustment to Helltide Chess, so that Helltide Chess will now actually drop unique items.
Yeah, have the chance to drop unique items, but yes.
Sorry. Have a chance, not like a guarantee.
So just relax.
Now that's quoted, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason to do Helltides. More.
Okay, that sounds stupid for me as the GM to go like, I didn't even.
It's
I
endgame.
thought they already could drop uniques with Helltide Chess, so I was mistaken there.
Yeah. It's so there are some content types that the rewards are not dropping like unique items.
Yeah,
So
what's
it's like
coming
like
next?
Whisper bounty caches, for example, don't have a chance to drop unique items when you turn in for those.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah, but I think that there's opportunities for us to continue to like try to expose this more as we talk about these things moving forward.
It's going to be nerfs.
But yeah, this is an opportunity now. We want to make sure that when players are trying to target farm for certain kinds of uniques for their builds they need to grab in order to bring those things online, that those
Shouts
whisper
have a
caches really can
60-second
be used
hard
as a way
cooldown.
or not whisper caches, the torture gifts you can get from the Helltides events. Those are really good opportunities to go and try to go for those.
And that's this afternoon. So once 104 goes out, once your uniques can drop in.
That's right.
Chess.
That's right. That's this afternoon.
Yep, and I will say, like, we've been getting, like we've mentioned, I think, many times already in this stream, we have been getting a lot of feedback related to bugs, issues, or even just, like, general gameplay feedback, and it's something that the team has been reading through and getting through, and those are things that, you know, obviously, we're addressing as we get through all these different updates in the future and everything.
We're building a big backlog. Like, this is the thing, I was making the joke about they started before, like, seasons started before we launched, just to try to set expectations. Like, we're moving as fast as we can, but we have to move also safely, because if we move too fast, we can kind of vibrate the game out of stability. And so we're trying to be as reactive as we can, but in a safe way, and knowing we have a large backlog of season 1 was already well in flight, and season 2 is also very much well in flight.
Season 2 is already being worked on.
So we hear the feedback. So please
Yeah,
don't
I want to make a
the
druid.
lack of
I want to go druid.
instantaneous responses
I'm
as
tired
we
of the
don't hear you.
barb.
We hear you. We hear about, I want to lock my inventory. We hear you about all the different types of things that you're giving us feedback on, and we appreciate that feedback, and we're doing our best to address it as quickly and as safely as possible. So, so just trying to manage expectations that sometimes it might feel, but again, it's only been 5 weeks. This is a game that we are going to, we're going to support for years.
Listen to him.
This is a foundation.
It's only been 5 weeks. It's only been 5 weeks. You're already launching season 1.
So
Don't make. I mean, you got enough resources to launch season 1. Don't tell me it's only been 5 weeks.
So please just allow us some time.
And you're
to
working on
catch
season
up
2.
and work through our backlog to get to those items that we know that you care about.
And I do want to note that we're, as we were in preseason, we were obviously shooting out a lot of updates really quickly, and this is something we talked about a little bit on the campfire chat, but we are going to get into a more systematic way of being able to update the game, so it's not just going to be like ad hoc, hey guys, what a new client patch type of thing, unless there's an emergency. But yeah, people start to find a more
115,000 viewers.
how we actually update the game around seasons and client patches that may occur, whether
Because there's no chat on YouTube,
only on seasons and so forth. So we'll have that actually.
5 weeks of
communicated
paradise.
out, and people then know what to expect.
Druid needs
going
certain
forward,
aspects to be
when we
good,
do
pieces of
have,
gear.
different updates or different patches that actually. Do
Yeah,
the game.
I think it's really important that we have now talked about things we did in the preseason. We've made a number of changes on the balance side. We've responded to a lot of player feedback. We've got 1.04 coming out later on this afternoon. But Adam, what do the people want to hear about?
Yeah.
Season 1.
So we're actually now going to talk about. No, I'm just kidding. But we do want to talk about season 1. Season 1 is coming, and we actually have
When?
a really cool trailer to show off before.
What's the
we
date?
jump into it.
Okay,
So
let's go. Trailer time.
hit it, Rich and Matt.
I am writing to you because although a great evil is receding from Sanctuary, a new festering curse
Corruption?
now spreads its corruption across the land. More dangerous, more malignant than I could have imagined. I have found a way to stop this plague, to rip the dark power of these monsters from their very core and turn it to our advantage in destroying them. But I cannot do this alone. My allies have fallen. My strength is dwindling. The malignant are relentless and without mercy.
What is this?
I need help.
Another version of
I
Helltide?
need you.
Season of the Malignant. That trailer, 720. Damn it. Okay, better than nothing.
There we have it. The first season of Diablo 4 coming out on July 20th.
That trailer told me nothing.
Season of the Malignant.
Nothing.
Lots to talk about there. Lots to talk about there. So we're actually going to jump into it. No, I'm just kidding. But obviously, a lot of people want to know what's going on. You know, we even teased it on social media yesterday where something was corrupting Sanctuary. I guess Tim, Joe, like
Okay. So
what's going on now?
So season 1, the season of the Malignant. So our very, very first season in the game is going to basically take place after the events of Diablo 4. So after the redacted and the redacted have happened and the player has finished redacting the redacted, once all that's out of the way, that's when things are really going to kick off in the world of Sanctuary. Kind of step off from that point. And there is a new threat that's basically emerged in Sanctuary. There's this malignance, there's this corruption that's begun to spread throughout
Corruptions!
the hearts of the creatures throughout the world. And that's everything
New
from
World.
beasts to humans, to demons themselves, everything in between. Can be corrupted by this malignance as beginning to take root and fester inside inside people. And it's basically kind of like it's changing them. Right, it's turning them into these bloodthirsty.
It's like New World.
Effectively, they're going out and trying to destroy everything. And it's threatening Sanctuary at a very, very, very high level. The player is going to come across a new character that they're going to introduce to over the course of the season, named Cormond, who we actually saw in the trailer there. Cormond is there he is.
No NPC.
Cormond is
Looks like me.
an ex-member of the Cathedral of Light.
When I let my hair grow.
Cathedral of Light. And he's taken it upon himself to start trying to dive deeper into this new malignant threat that's risen over the course of these days following
118,000 viewers.
Main campaign.
This sounds like corruption. This is new. Sounds like New World to me.
A little out of his depth. You say, Tim? Like, what do you think?
And you'll see him on the map. Go here. There's a corruption popping up.
And then I think when he's not 100% successful, he comes to the player and says, "Hey, you were really helpful in the past. Could I get a hand from you?" So that's kind of where things start.
Yeah, he's very. I think that you'll find he's a person. Everything in the room is on fire, but he's sitting there like, "I can fix it. You know, we can find a way to solve this, right?" But he's a great new character that the player get introduced over the course of the season. But that's when
117
kick off. No, and players will start the season of Malignant actually in Kyovashad, and they're going to gain access to the beginning of the story of the season pretty much right away. You know, so you're able to start off right at level 1, like jumping out of the gate, and be able to start like following the thread of this new season storyline.
And we're going to talk about the transition from the current Eternal Realm into the season afterwards. We're going to get through the season information first. Well, then I know people are really curious about what happens to my current character, how do I think about that transition, but we'll get to that after we get through the season details.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So that's the kind of the high level, like what's happening.
You guys excited?
That's the theme, right?
That's the theme,
we have a seasonal theme with a seasonal story, but like what about the mechanic? on top of the theme, there's usually the seasonal mechanics. So what's the mechanics that we're looking at?
We're trying to add more stuff to seasons that appeal to everything that a player does in Diablo 4. So we are adding story, the elements of what you're going to find out about what is actually happening to Sanctuary, but then we want things that are new challenges for the player, things that you can fight that maybe you haven't fought before, as well as new powers, things that you can build your character in a different way,
new
different
powers
direction than maybe you did in any previous
new
season,
powers
in this case, in the preseason when you had just the Eternal Realm. So hitting all of those notes, we're starting with a mechanic around the threat. So what is the threat? The Malignant. We've been talking about it a lot. Where does the Malignant actually show up? That actually shows up throughout the entire game. Yep. When you're playing in the world of Sanctuary, anytime you encounter any elite monster, there's a chance that it will spawn as a malignant version of that monster. So that malignant version is going to have these growths on it and some additional power. After you kill it, a heart will actually appear, the exposed malignant heart that was causing this. If you then interact with that heart by using a Cage of Binding, it now starts a ritual where it's pulling all the malignants in and a new, even more powerful version of that elite is spawned. Yep. Why would you want this? How does this help you? Well, if you can manage to beat that, even more powerful version where you see these other minions are now helping it, these other malignant creatures, now it drops.
I kind of like this.
You actually put all that malignant power into
what about
this
the
cage
loot?
That is an item that you can use that is kind of like a gem.
A gem?
It's like a gem in the sense that you can socket it into gear. It is very much not like a gem in the sense that it has an enormous amount of power. Think of a legendary item, the kind of power that's in there. It's like that, maybe even a little bit more than that. So you can take these malignant hearts, you can socket them into your jewelry, and that gives you these kind of stupid new broken builds that
extra
are
socket?
Totally balanced,
extra socket?
But they are extremely powerful. So these are new
you mean extra?
How you can play the game.
Yeah. So this is really cool, right? So one of the things we really want to do with each season,
I'm in.
Tim's
We're
point,
in.
is we want to make sure that we're providing new ways for players to engage with Diablo 4, new problems for them to solve, new ways for them to customize their characters and kind of do new cool stuff.
Right.
And that's what Malignant Hearts and the powers associated with Malignant Hearts really allow us to do. So one of these things, so yes, you can take a malignant heart that you've managed to collect from one of the consumed that you managed to kill, one of these super malignant creatures that you've killed this way, and you can socket them into your gear. We have over 30. We have 32 new. I'm not gonna say like over 30. We have 32 new malignant powers.
You know exactly how many powers.
Technically, so yeah, it's 32. So we have 32 new malignant powers are going out this way. These are our new legendary power-like abilities. You can see this one here.
Do we upgrade them? Freeze that.
Charge creatures for a certain amount of damage.
They have a vicious malignant socket. Critical strike.
Each of the malignant hearts you're collecting are actually like a category. They're associated with a color.
Are we going to go through the story again, the campaign?
Like have a blue color to them, and they'll only go in infested sockets you'll find on rings and jewelry during the season of the malignant of a matching color.
Okay.
So when
Infested sockets.
When you're like finding new amulets and rings or gambling at the like the Opal's vendor, whatever it is you want to do, you're kind of looking for specific socket colors.
Or
socket colors.
A unique ring from the new Helltide chest rewards as you're playing from the one.
That's right. If you happen to luck out and get Mother's Embrace because you need another Mother's
Helltide.
Embrace, yes, you can absolutely.
Mine will never do. But what's
I got to restart.
Like with the, so there's 3 different types of color sockets. Yes.
There's 3 different kinds.
Is this in addition to what we already get in the game? Are there going to be 2 socket types?
Well, okay, I guess I will. So the last malignant heart type is called basically a wrathful. It's an extremely powerful malignant heart type. They're very rare to find. They will fit in any colored socket as you go.
Oh, they got globals.
You kind of want a combination of all of these. So even though the wrathfuls are pretty strong, you're really only looking to probably have like 1 or 2 of these.
I don't think we're going to have 2 sockets.
Build, over the course of time. So it's fun, like really want to be able to experiment with, again, creating these different problems for players to solve, different ways for players to engage with things, and really change up that experience by virtue of adding these new powers. They're going to unlock different builds potentially for classes, to Tim's point, and just basically be like a really fun.
Do we go through the campaign again or no?
Inject new power into the experience.
But you're looking for the. So can the?
I don't think we go through the campaign again.
Can add a socket to, a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
Are they able to add colored sockets, or are those only
found? You can't choose the color, but anytime a ring would roll with a socket when the season of Malignant starts,
it's a new story.
It's going to have a color associated with it.
The old campaign's gone.
You can get like just a regular jewel socket.
But even a jeweler created one. Like if I have a ring with no socket, when I do the jeweler, it'll be colored.
It'll always be colored. Yeah, it'll always be an infested socket in this way.
Got it.
Yeah.
But that's true for unique. So if I'm looking for I have a unique ring, like you talked about, but I want the blue version. I could find a unique with the red socket, and I could find it with a yellow socket. So I'm looking for a blue. So there'll be multiple versions of the uniques as well, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, fun new stuff to look forward to, and that's just, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
PoE
we showed in the video
inspired.
earlier,
How's it going,
the player
Riddler?
Fighting a malignant creature, you know, there's a chance for, as Tim pointed out, like there's a chance for all kinds of elites out there in the world to be malignant in nature, which makes them a little bit more powerful. But then when you kill them and you go and you actually use the Cage of Binding to capture their heart, then you fight that super consume, the consume version. It's like that's gonna be like buffing nearby monsters. It spawns a bigger like combat in that scene. There's more to look forward to, and those get tougher and tougher.
This sounds like a league mechanic from PoE.
Higher world tiers to get even better versions of those hearts.
Yeah, so you can get stronger versions of the hearts as you get further into the game, and you might be thinking like, okay, does that mean like the old, like the crappy hearts that I got earlier, are those useless? You can actually break those down at the crafter as well to get a crafting material out of them that allows you to craft new items, including invokers. So invokers are something that you can use a little bit further on. Once you finish the campaign of Season 1, you will unlock the ability to go and use these at a specific place called a malignant tunnel. So if you are trying to...
That's also the name of my colonoscopy.
Okay.
This is a new game. Yeah, where's Wins World Tier 5?
It's a serious thing when you're over 50. You should know that.
That's a
good point. So if you have a malignant tunnel, you should get yourself checked out.
So in the world of Sanctuary, when we say malignant tunnel, we mean, hey, I'm a player and I actually want to get more of these hearts, but it's just a random chance on elites out in the world. Where can I intentionally find more of them? There are these malignant tunnels. So there are actually places across the world where the malignance is manifesting in these new dungeons. So if you specifically want to go find more malignant hearts, you can hunt down these tunnels. You can go in and, hey, there are more malignant there. So there's a higher chance of finding malignant monsters there. And if you want to guarantee it, man, I really need a very...
Those aren't on the map, are they?
How do I make that even more likely? That's when you take your crafted invoker, you go all the way to the end of a malignant
That's loud.
and you can use it on a malignant outgrowth. And when you use it on that outgrowth, it now spawns that specific type of malignant that's going to have the color associated with it of the heart you're trying to find. You
Too
kill
loud.
that, and you're going to get the specific heart. So there's a little bit more targeted farming you can do as you approach the end game of.
Is all this coming back into the regular game?
C video, it will be able to show you the going into an evoker event where you can go in and sort
This stuff has to come back.
I've heard called the turkey baster from hell, basically, is what an invoker looks like.
It does kind of, yes. That wasn't the art direction on it, but yeah, that's where we ended up.
This is so PoE right here.
There are these masses of malignants that you're able to go and interact with, and each of the
This is so PoE.
Ones that can potentially spawn different colors of.
So what happens at the end of the season?
So it gives you those opportunities to go and like really target farm.
Your gems and all the powers got to come back.
Malignant hearts as the player's progressing through the experience. Yeah.
So when we show like we were just showing it, we went.
Huh?
Show the one you were just showing because that was the invoker event.
Or we just wait for season 2
to the end of the tunnel
and start over again.
You were able to basically, essentially requesting a monster of a particular color. Yes, you're saying like I want a blue heart.
The normal of this version of this game is no longer valid.
Like, particularly later on in the experience, like the most powerful hearts you can get are going to be delivered from things like these invoker encounters.
Seasons have taken over already. The normal version of this game is worthless.
One of the
it's season 1, a break. Season 2, a break.
Blue monster for you to fight. You have to take that down, which will then. So does this one go through the same
normal is dead.
I have to kill it, try to capture heart to kill the harder thing?
Yeah, when this thing pops up, after you kill this one, you don't actually have to capture it.
How long does the season last?
The powerful version of it, like immediately.
That's what I was asking, so you don't have to do the 1-2, right?
That's right.
Got it. So that's nice. So it's kind of a little like the sigil crafting.
It's a hamster wheel time already.
I'm not using right now. I can craft it down so that I can focus what malignant hearts I want because maybe my build I know.
Is this game good enough to where you're going to want to create a new class every season? Is it in a state?
I can go into a malignant tunnel, fight my way to the end, have an opportunity to use the invoker to create a blue malignant to go after its heart. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I just called it out.
And I know.
That's all I'm here to do is summarize.
That's good.
He's like, I will take everything you said, summarize it into 2 sentences. And I know, like, obviously with the story and so forth, there are like new, like a new boss and so forth associated with it.
We're not really talking about the boss.
We're not redacted, but yes.
It's worth calling out, yeah.
It is worth calling out.
Eternal's over.
There's a new boss monster for
This
players
game
to
is
play
now
for
about
the season.
seasons.
There
And every season you're going to create a new character.
Correct.
There's our
It came
legendary
2
powers
years
that
later
players
to
select.
Diablo
There's
3.
unique items for players to collect.
It's here now.
Unique legendaries and the unique.
There is no reason to play on Eternal.
Thanks for that. Those are not just in the seasonal realm, though, right? Are those things that are also showing up in the Eternal?
That's right. Those will also show up in the Eternal
What
realm.
will?
So
Exactly.
yeah, if you're a player who's like really trying to continue to progress your character in the Eternal realm, there's now a few new items for you to go try to hunt for and use to kind of augment and change your build.
This is the moment where I can do the producer thing.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
you probably saw before on the screen when we looked at the cinematic, it was awesome. And we said July 20th. Oh my God, there it is, the day it's coming out. We are actually putting out the patch a little bit earlier. So just for awareness, so everyone knows, you're going to see your game patching on July 18th. That is all of the stuff coming to you that is going to turn on July 20th.
Balance changes, the new items.
Yeah. So July 18th is actually anything that shows up on the Eternal Realm is there right away. If you just want to continue playing the game as normal on your existing characters or a new Eternal character if you want, July 18th, the new legendaries and uniques that they were just talking about will be available to you on the Eternal Realm, as well as any other improvements, balance changes, rewards changes that we've made. Those will be there right away on July 18th.
Who cares?
July 20th, the season turns on. You can now create seasonal characters.
I think it's like going back to managing expectations. I think one of the things we've been trying to be really clear about with Seasons is that it is not a continuation of the main campaign storyline. Like we've been using.
What happens when the
phrases
season
like
ends?
It's a new quest line. Working with Corman to solve the Malignant is a big, is obviously the journey you're on, but it's not about the Anarius Lilith journey. It's not extending that story. It's sort of a side story inside the open world. Is that
Yeah, it just takes place after the events of Diablo 4. But you're absolutely right. This is a new self-contained story within the season of the Malignant, which is great because it just gives us it affords us a lot of opportunities to tell an exciting story and to create like these new big features that kind of go along with that and support it.
So as I'm playing through that now, it would be amazing if there was some way to sort of track my accomplishments through the season. I don't know, maybe some sort of journey perhaps
so you
would be really...
You want to track your seasonal journey through some kind of feature.
I don't know if I could tee that up any higher for you. We went from golf to
T-ball really fast, no, absolutely. So this is obviously with season 1 where we're going to bring out the season journey feature, which I know we talked a little bit about on stream before, but I guess it's worth maybe calling out and maybe a little bit more clarity.
Hey, look, it's this, but without redacted all over it now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is
no top secret.
Yeah. So this is the battle pass introducing as part of season 1, and then going into here you'll see the season journey, and again, so the season journey is separated into 7 chapters. Like these major chapters, and each of those chapters has a number of objectives inside each of them in order to allow you to progress that chapter.
And you don't have to do all of them?
You don't have to do all of them. You have to do a subset of them in order to advance to the next chapter.
Chapter rewards?
So I think it's really cool. So like objective to objective, you're going to be earning favor drops, which can be used to fuel your battle pass, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute. Yeah. But you're also, for your chapter completion moments, you're getting big drops of that favor that's going to be used like an experience point value for your battle pass. But you're also going to be getting some like item rewards and
this is the free battle pass. Free.
You can't normally get through the Codex of Power, through like dungeon completion, and also many of our new legendary aspects we're adding in the season. If you're playing in the seasonal realm, you can collect that for your Codex of Power by going to the season journey. So it's a great way for you to introduce yourself to some of these new things as you're kind of playing through.
Yeah, I love this. Like one of the things that's hard about, for people who know Diablo 3 and its sort of journey.
Hold on, wait. Do you love this?
I love this.
Oh, that actually feels really good to hear.
I love this. The notion around, like, I like the fact that the subset aspect of it, because I know there are certain things. I'll pick a stupid example. It's like maybe I hate sellers for some reason. I'm a seller hater, and so I never want to complete a seller. Then the fact that I can advance chapter 1 to go to chapter 2 without ever doing what lurks below, I think that's great, because that's like I find you get into situations. I have other games where they're like, you must do this thing that you really don't want to do in order to progress, and the fact that I don't have to do that here, that I can choose a subset of things.
Yeah, not talking about renown.
I think is really smart.
Yeah, I think it's really good to hear. One of the things we really wanted to do is make sure that like the base example of this is like we really like letting players use our fields of hatred as opportunities to kind of like progress their characters
Sure.
inside of the season. But we don't, and we want to include that
Which
in
is
the
the
season
PvP
journey,
fields, yeah.
which is the PvP content in the game. But we don't want to make that like a requirement that you must go do this content in order to progress your season journey. We want to give players the option to do this if they choose.
One thing I do want to call out here as well with the season journey, and I think you're going to call it out in some other places, is that it can be confusing to players initially that you go to this Battle Pass screen, you click on the season journey button. Do I have to buy the Battle Pass to get this? No. Everyone has access to the season journey. This is a base feature that everybody is engaging with. Actually, everybody has access to the Battle Pass too. You're engaging with, even if you never pay a cent, you are engaging with the Battle Pass. You're getting free stuff.
In the seasonal realm.
In the seasonal realm.
Yes, in the
Ron has always reminded me to say that. In the seasonal realm, this stuff exists. There is no season journey if you're not in the season. That's very important. It only exists there. There's no Battle Pass if you're not in the season.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So yeah, that's the essentially the way the season journey works. Those final objectives, those final chapters are really tough.
How long is the season, and what happens at the end?
Like special title and things towards the end of that path. So we're excited to see players like engage with it, and for us to continue to support it in future seasons.
And so we saw that the season journey grants you a lot of favor to go towards your battle pass, but you also earn favor just out in the world killing stuff. And
that's right. Anything that's like killing monsters, completing like whispers and dungeons and things, like all of these things will be earning you favor as you kind of play through the season.
Right.
So anything that's getting you experience points is your chance to give you that favor as well.
So if you have never played the campaign yet, like you're about to buy the game for the first time with the season, for example,
right?
I'll be like, okay, I'm going to roll a seasonal character. I'm going to play the campaign. The fact that while I'm playing the campaign, I'm killing stuff, and I'm still earning favor. Like this stuff is still sort of progressing in the background, right?
That's absolutely correct.
I just won't run into any malignant until I finish the campaign.
That's absolutely right. But you will, as you play, if you make a new character, to your point, Rod, on the seasonal realm, and you're playing through the campaign, you will be earning favor as you're killing monsters and doing things during the campaign. But a lot of those, and you can also progress your season journey, but some of those objectives might require you to go and interact with season features that aren't available until after you finish the events of the Diablo 4 main campaign.
And that's probably one of the big things to be clear about. I know we're going to talk about the transition later, but in terms of getting access to the mechanic, the idea of talking to Corman, capturing malignant hearts, having rings with colored socket or jewelry with colored sockets, that stuff all takes place post-campaign.
That's correct.
And so if you haven't beat the campaign yet, you're not going to run into these seasonal mechanics.
Yeah, you won't fight malignant creatures, for example, while you're going through the campaign.
Finish the campaign.
You will shortly thereafter.
On Eternal.
So one of the things you can do, and I know we're going to talk about this, and we keep saying we're going to talk about this, and then we talk about it anyway. But so I would say, one of the things you can do to get ready for the season is to make sure you finish your campaign playthrough.
It's 102 days. I was hoping someone would catch that.
You make your new seasonal character and dive right into the seasonal story and content immediately.
And that's forevermore. That's one thing we tried to say is that once you complete the campaign on one character on your account,
one character,
for every season moving forward, for any character you create moving forward, you can skip campaign and start off in Kyovashad level 1 off. Well, and you know,
not always Kyovashad, but yes.
Is that the only thing that we can be doing to prepare for
we should
season
get to,
one?
Finish the campaign.
The battle pass. So the favor, so you have favor flowing because you're playing the game.
102 days is 3.5 months.
And I was going to say you're getting more, and the favor is really flowing because I'm completing the season journey objectives. And so that favor is feeding into your progress on the battle pass, whether you've chosen to just have the free battle pass or whether you've chosen to upgrade it to a premium battle pass, correct?
That's absolutely correct.
So can we go back to the screen, because I think it's one of the things. What we highlight here.
102 days.
Part of the thing is kind of we use the term. Why would I want to complete the battle pass?
Your mics are not working.
You would want to complete the battle passes. You could look like this.
Yeah.
And by completing the battle
pass. Here we go. Here comes the push for premium.
The armor that the characters are wearing, and so. Did you want to talk a little bit about kind of the stuff?
I mean, one of the things that's really cool about a lot of the items in the battle pass, there are these really exciting like armors to chase for the characters. There are like fun new emotes to go chase for different classes. And we have even things like the like what we're showing off here, like the Artisan's Tunic. We have some things that are like these. And this is actually one of our free cosmetics. Actually, is this. The things are like a little bit lower fantasy that we can use to kind of like role play different kind of games out for your characters, just give you more options. And we have like our bigger stuff like this. Like this is like the Awoken Cold Iron stuff. Is like some of like the real chase armor cosmetics that exist at the end of the battle pass.
It's one of the things that, like, if you notice either the role-playing armor, like the Artisan Tunic, or the the helmet, is that one of the big things about the Battle Pass is that unlike the shop, the Battle Pass, all of the cosmetics are class agnostic. So why we have a preview for all 5 classes, so you can see what it looks like on a Barbarian, what it looks like on a Druid, what it looks like on a Necromancer, and those sorts of things. And that's one of the nice things about the Battle Pass is everything you're earning on the Battle Pass, class agnostic.
Yeah, for those transmogs.
The exception is the transmog weapons. There are transmog weapons on there that are class specific, just because classes
can only use
certain
specific.
weapons. So if your class can equip that weapon, then you have access to it. Just to reinforce, I think it was already expressed, but there are lots of free things on the Battle Pass. If you pay to upgrade it to the premium Battle Pass, what you're gaining access to are a bunch of additional cosmetic things.
Yeah.
So the only thing you're getting access to by paying is that additional cosmetic unlock. So there's really, really cool stuff, some on the early end, and then especially on the tail end of it, that's what you're buying into. But the free version...
Premium Battle Pass is not worth it. Everything looks like crap in the game.
Still has some very cool unlocks, and anything related to, well, you wanted to talk
Everything
about
looks
blessings, right?
Well, that's
depressing.
What I was saying with the free side. Like, so we were saying there's 27 free tiers in the Battle Pass, and part of those 27 free tiers are smoldering ashes that you can get based on the level you are in the game and that you've progressed with favor. And what do those smoldering ashes get you?
So these smoldering ashes the player will collect at the Battle Pass are, as you called out, like they're on the free track of the Battle Pass. You need to be you have a character of a certain level in order to be able to actually use them. So they're kind of like they're rate limited that way. We'll take those and you'll be able to use those and apply them to the seasonal blessings system.
Right.
And here, okay, we can actually finally reveal all of these. So here are the places where, as the player's collecting these ashes, they can invest them here to give all of their characters on the seasonal realm kind of like this advantage able to carry through. So whether that is like bonus to like XP earned from monster kills, like we call out here, or things like boosting the duration of all elixirs that you're using over the course of the season.
Right, and you can looks like.
What is this?
I don't know if it's linear or not, but if I would assume it was linear, I can do it 4 times at 15%, so like 60% duration on elixirs. In terms
There's
of
4 levels of XP.
Prolonging.
That's right. Yeah, we want to make this just be an extra little fun little thing for players to chase as they're going through the season to kind of.
This should have been in the regular game.
Boost their character a little more quickly as they kind of get deeper and deeper into progression through the season, and give them a few different advantages to play with while they're playing through.
So if I were to
Rip
max out
Diablo.
my smoldering ashes, there. Like
We have a new Diablo.
Prolonging is where I want to invest my smoldering ashes. I can basically take my 30-minute elixir and make it almost a 50-minute elixir. So getting that 5% XP boost. Maybe for me, it's the extra 200 thorns and the 200 armor. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, and give you boosts to like get more opportunities to earn like the or better ability.
Duration of elixirs.
And these are available to
Rare
everyone
materials.
who's in the seasonal realm because it's part of the free track.
Yes.
And they are limited based on. They're also limited based on level of the player, so that even if someone were to use tier skips, even though they might get to the tier that says free smoldering ashes, it doesn't actually unlock until you get to the level requirement.
Yeah, for like for example, like the first ash that you unlock in the Battle Pass is I think it's tier.
Yeah, I don't understand, Sally.
It has a level 40 character requirement as an example, just to make it really, really clear. Like you will be able to use this in time, but immediately like you need to continue to progress your character and like continue to level up, and then you'll be able to use that accordingly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can kind of do my little summary thing. So basically, the way what we said, so we have a seasonal theme of the Malignant, which has the mechanic of capturing malignant hearts and putting it into jewelry. We use that to complete our season's journey. Our season journey is rewarding us favor. Our favor, we're then putting into the Battle Pass to get really cool cosmetics and transmogs, but also based on our level and our tier in the Battle Pass, we'll get Smoldering Ashes. We can use those Smoldering Ashes to apply a Season's Blessing, which allows us to use those urns and get sort of perks for during just this season that we've unlocked.
That's correct.
So the free person's experience, if you never want to pay a cent, you are still getting a lot of power out of the season journey and the free aspect, the free unlocks on the Battle Pass. So this is kind of an increase in power for everybody. And then if you want to spend money, just reinforcing that, that's unlocking more cosmetics. And don't get me wrong, like they're amazing cosmetics. I am planning to pay to unlock them myself, but there's no power that comes from them. They are transmogs. They are not actual items. It's just a transmog you can place on your armor to look cool. They don't actually cause things to light on fire.
Yeah, it's just reinforcing what we had talked about before, like even before launch and so forth, is that the Battle Pass itself, anything that, if you do pay for a Battle Pass, all the paid items are going to be cosmetics and for you. It's no pay for power.
And if you bought the Deluxe or the Ultimate Edition, you already will have an ability to make that a premium Battle Pass. It still doesn't. So that's great for them. So then let's talk a little bit about the transitional side of it.
Yes.
In terms of how I go into this or what happens. So there's a couple of different things. There's like, one is like there's a need. So there's a question. I guess we should talk about renown. Like one of the big things that we hear the most about is, hey, I spent a lot of time, and I know I did too. I completed all my renown objectives. I've got full everything, and now I hear, oh, I have to re-roll my character in season. Do I have to go find all the altars of Lilith? Do I have to go all clear the fog of war again?
Yeah, so I know we've talked about this in stream before, but it definitely bears repeating. So like when season 1 goes live, players are going to be able to go basically carry over like all of the fog of war that they've cleared. So everything, all the world they've explored on their characters in each of the zones, like in the Fractured Peaks and Scotsland and such, all of that's going to carry over, as well as all of the renown that you have earned from all of that, all of the exploration.
So can we bring up the screen? So basically where we see areas discovered, let's say I've actually, we'll say this is this person. So right now they've got 30 areas discovered, which is worth 150 renown.
Right.
So what's going to happen is in the season, I'm going to have 30 areas clear inside of Kyrgyzstan, and I will have 150 renown already in the bank. And it will have unlocked whatever 150 renown will have unlocked.
Absolutely right. Yep, absolutely right. So you're going to have that, and you're also going to have already collected all of your altars of Lilith that you've got from your account.
So the same thing here. So I will have 12 will be appearing on my map immediately, and I will have 120 renown in the bank with my other 100. So I'll have 270 renown already earned, waiting for me to claim when I fire up the season.
That's absolutely correct. So these are the advantages you get to start with, and like if you look at like all of the renown you can collect from discovering all of the areas and from getting all of your altars of Lilith, it's going to get you in each of the zones, basically through the first 2 tiers, and a little bit of the way through the 3rd tier for each of the zones for renown. So you get to start with, like, if you start at level 1 on day 1 of the new season with a brand new character, you'll start, and you've done all of this work with your previous characters and previous playthroughs. You'll have 5 skill points to play with, and then 5 extra potion charges. So you'll be at sitting at 9 potion charges.
At level 1, you'll have 5 skill points and 9 potions ready to go.
Absolutely. You just claim those things down, you're good to go for the season.
And your map reveal.
And your map
reveal.
So that goes back to what Tim was teeing up earlier. When we think about, hey, I'm excited about the season, I want to prepare for it. I've got, what is it? It's the 6th today?
Today's the 6th, yes.
So I have 14 days.
14 days.
I have 2 weeks. What should I be doing in these next 2 weeks? And so one was, I better get the campaign done because I really want to
complete the campaign,
fight the malignant. But now, like, if you had places to go to, like, dig deep on clearing the fog and dig deep on finding the altars, because those are going to carry into the season.
Yeah, all that stuff will carry over with you.
Okay, so then, Tim, how do I think about, I've got 5, 6 alts, my characters right now in the Eternal Realm. We're talking about carrying over progress based on your, how do I ensure that the progress, like the most progress character, it actually impacts my seasonal character? Like,
Tim, tell us.
It's a great question. For various technical implementation reasons, we do actually need you to log in on existing characters to kind of self-migrate some of your data with this. So this is something that we implemented based on player feedback that we got. So we put it in as quickly as we could. It is in for Season 1, but what we need you to do, once Season 1 comes out, actually once the patch comes out, you don't even have to wait until July 20th. You can do this on July 18th, which is when the patch goes live. You should log in with characters that have the most progress. If you have a single character you played, or if you have one character that, hey, on this one character I unlocked all the altars and cleared all the fog of war, awesome. You just have to log in with that person. When you log in with that character, all of that progress is going to be propagated across your entire account. It'll be saved as, hey, this is just unlocked for your whole account now. At that point, any character you log on, either one of your existing alts or any new character you make in seasons, will now have all of that progress. So you have to do it once, but after you've done that, it is now saved to your account. And just to reinforce, the experience you're going to have if you have unlocked all of these things, it takes a little bit of work, but if you've unlocked all of that, when you start that new seasonal character, wow, is that a lot of power. You are going to level pretty fast, because extra 5 skill points, extra 5 potions, you are ridiculously overpowered when you first start playing. Like, that is a lot of extra power.
It will
so.
accelerate you a little bit as you start.
And because that is a big caveat, like we will be reminding everyone. I'm going to be like literally screaming it from the rooftops. I know we will be posting it in our patch notes on that come out for the patch on the 18th, just to remind people that yes, log into your characters beforehand. Even if you log in, like if you jump into the season later on, you can log into those characters with the most amount of progress.
Well,
that's
that's the two things we should, because there'll probably be questions. But one is, I don't do that for whatever. I go on vacation. I'm not playing. I come back. The season started. I can still log in my Eternal Realm character and have all that progress brought to the season. Yes.
Yes.
Even after the season started. So it's not like, oh, you only have 18 to 20 to get it those 2 days.
It's there forever. Functionally, from this point forward, anytime you ever log in on a character, it will just check like, hey, does this character have any progress that's not already credited on your account? Cool, I'm now crediting it to your account.
Right. And so and that's for the seasonal. So if I think about the Eternal Realm, like for example, my Necromancer has everything. I've got the full bar on renown on all 5. Not humble bragging. That's a point of fact.
Humble bragging.
Not humble bragging.
Absolutely.
So for the next 5
You
minutes,
still
we're gonna
need
talk about
renown
it.
to
Talk about
finish.
how good my Necromancer is. No, but all I'm saying is I have a Sork that has not had the same level of progress in the world. So after the 18th, when I log in my Necro and all that progress gets put to my account, when I go to log in my Sork next, even on the Eternal Realm, my Sork will now have all the progress that my Necro has.
Correct.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
And let's say, like, just to dive really deep into this. So let's say that you've got, you've got 2 different characters.
We should do some sort of dev stream where we can talk and go deep.
That's true, actually, yeah. So let's say you've got like 2 characters you play. Like one has done everything in the Fractured Peaks, has uncovered everything in the Fractured Peaks, and has uncovered like all of the altars level above. You get another character who's gotten everything in Scott's Glen, who's unlocked like all the Fog of War, has found all the altars Lilith. If I log in on my Fractured Peaks character, and just by doing that, all of that credit will now be transferred to my Scott's Glen character. When I log into my Scott's Glen character, all of that credit will be applied to my Fractured Peaks characters. At that point, all of the credit of the progress I've made on either of those characters has been propagated to the entirety of my account.
Right. So it becomes an and.
It's not just like it's and. It's not like the one account that has the most stuff, and then I want to log into that one. No, you want to log into every account that might have like tons of progress if they've made in different directions. Right.
And I think just again, hey, let's talk about managing expectations. Some of you might be saying like, wow, that sounds a little clunky. And I think the point that Tim was trying to make was, hey, prior to season 1, we had actually talked about that you wouldn't have any renown progress carryover. You would have to go find the altars of Lilith. You would have to go clear the Fog of War. Like the original plan when launching the game, or prior to launching the game, the original plan that there was no transition of state from Eternal Realm to Seasonal Realm as part of this. And so hearing the player feedback as we talked about seasons and hearing the response that we got about what, I have to find all the altars again, what, I have to clear the map again, and wanting to make sure that we were listening to the players, we put in a system that allowed us to do that, but it is not the most smoothest, most sophisticated, because we were doing it under very tight time constraints as quickly as possible.
Hey, did you want it done? Did you want it done? The answer is yes.
I'm just saying, like, that wasn't the design from the start was not to do this, log in a character on the 18th and make it pass. That's what we had to do to make it happen for season 1.
And this was based off of, obviously player feedback that we had gotten since launch. So this is us implementing it quickly to address, the feedback that you guys have been giving. And then on top of that, I like a huge shout out to our engineers for getting this all implemented before we actually jump into the season.
Much like the Nightmare Dungeon teleport, like miracles can happen and very quickly. So
a lot of these actually end up with us going to an engineer and asking how long it would take to do it, and the first answer is to do it right.
First answer is they cry.
And then there's like, okay, well, what about to make it work right now? And always, if you told me you wanted to do this X months ago, I could have done it way easier because we implemented it completely differently. So yeah, we make it work, but sometimes the fact that you have to log in to get the progress propagated, we would have made it a smoother version if we knew months ago.
All right, look, all right, like zoom in on me. Zoom in on me.
Come closer.
Let's do that. Okay, it's not going to happen. There it is. Okay, yeah, all right. It's a live game. We know we need to it's a live game. We know we are looking at trying to make improvements based on the feedback that we're getting from players. We're playing the game ourselves, and we're seeing how everything is really feeling as it's all coming together with a giant audience of players playing and enjoying the game. We want to make sure that we are making the right changes as quickly as we can for the community. Some of those things are a lot harder than others. But like all the feedback, like Adam, you called out some things really early on at the program, like, you know, we're hearing feedback about, you know, this and this, and like, you know, inventory space. We talked about gems last time and things we want to do there. We're trying to move very quickly in a lot of these things. Some of them are a lot more challenging technically to do than others, but we are rapidly moving on as many changes as we can because we are fervently trying to make the very best version of Diablo 4 possible in the fastest time frame that we can to deliver to the player base, because you know we're players too. We also want the same things. So just know that we're working hard. We care deeply. We love our engineers and our designers and our producers and the staff's been helping with like all like the hotfix and everything else. We are trying to make sure that we are delivering a really, really high quality experience to players on a regular basis. So just stick with us. Keep giving us that feedback. We're going to keep making adjustments as we go between seasons and other updates.
I can attest that whenever Joe would like to make a change based on feedback he's seen from reading it wherever he reads it, the first version is always, can we do this immediately? That is always the first request. Never like, hey, let's get this in eventually. When it makes sense and when it's comfortable, no, it's always, could we do this right now? Is it possible for us to do this right now?
Well,
so
I want to
that's
move
the first version.
I want to move the Overton window where I just expect everything to be done in 6 seconds.
But this is the thing about like about doing it safely. Like I think one of the sort of the junior mistakes some people can make is this idea of like time is only what it takes to implement, and it's not. It's time is also what it takes to test and make sure that it's robust and stable. And so that's one of the things that like
playing Fallout 76 until Starfield.
We have a follow the sun QA organization around the world, and that's
what
allows
happens
us
at the end of the season.
15, 16 hot fixes or more now.
Yeah.
And our big client patches is that ability to not only can we get we have some heroic engineers who can turn stuff around very quickly, but we also have some heroic QA teams around the world who are helping us make sure that when we make these changes, we're doing it in a safe way. So, but I appreciate your patience on that. And so this is exciting. Season 1, Season of the Malignant.
Yes. It's finally here.
Yes.
I'm waiting to reveal this for a long
2 weeks.
time.
In 2 weeks. And again, like Tim had mentioned.
It's not technically here for you all, but soon, very soon.
As Tim had mentioned, we will have a patch on the 18th for Diablo 4 that will contain all the changes that will be coming in with Season 1.
Yep.
If Tiffany Watt were here, who was on our campfire chat before,
yep,
she categorized our 103 patch as chonky.
Right.
I will categorize in Tiffany Watt's words as super chonky for Season 1. It actually is our largest, or chonkster, as Tim called it. I think we were chonkers. So we're going to pull up the Wikipedia entry and actually go through it, the history of chonkers. But yeah, it is very big. So we will have notes up for that.
The forums are going to be crazy today.
Prepare for Season 1 by
Renown. You still got to do Renown
for sure.
For the last 3 boxes.
Yeah, clear Fog of War, discover the map, and of course get all your altars. So. Lots to come for Diablo 4, and then again we also have just more improvements that will be in that patch. What class our balance changes to bug fixes to.
True, Conman.
I can go on. There's even some reward.
You get like 2.5 boxes
for some Nightmare and Helltide.
The most you can get is 2.5 boxes. True.
As well, some endgame activities, because I've been hearing some feedback regarding like, hey, it would be great if we can get like maybe better rewards with some of these activities, and so I know some of those changes are coming in that actual update as well. But I know we want to do Q&A.
We do.
What?
And this is a live.
Take my question.
So
take my question.
People are like, I don't know if this is live. No, this is totally live.
Take my question.
So we're actually going to be bringing in. we're actually going to kick off Rod because we're done with him. No, I'm just kidding. Rod is actually.
I'm actually going to go and annoy you from the side.
Go eat some cookies, Rod.
Rod's going to jump over here. We're actually going to bring back in Chris and Ryan from the Immortal team. Who will be jumping in here.
I think you're supposed to open that chair. I didn't do my job. I didn't do my job.
Rod had one job, and
what
to do it.
happens when season is over?
I know we have questions queued up from different people in Twitch chat. So if you guys have questions, of course, feel free to drop in questions. And
I typed in my question. It's gone. It's gone.
I need to scooch too because I think
I think we need to scooch a little bit more.
Live television. We're scooching live.
And we're scooching.
That's right.
So here's the problem. We also the production team hates me. I want to give a shout out to our production group behind here because
what happens when seasons are over?
We're only gonna have like 2 people, and then we continue to add.
We wait a week for the next season.
So now suddenly we're up to like 20 people, and this room can't hold.
Are you
this many
seriously
people,
going to
so
ask
I
Diablo
apologize.
Immortal
They
questions?
are angels, and they deal with me. But we do have some questions, and I will be kind of going back and forth in between both of them. But we do. Oh, perfect. We do have some questions up here. Someone's also calling me, which is awful at this time. Quick question. Any updates around, this is for D4 specifically, any updates around respecting characters?
Yeah, so right now I think that there's a few different concerns we're hearing from the community. There's the general cost of respecting characters, and then there is at various stages of the game. And then there is the actual experience of respecting a character, particularly when you're deeper into the Paragon system. Like that takes a lot of effort. So we have longer-term plans on the user experience side, like on the menu side. Things we want to do to improve the flow of allowing players to respect their characters. These are things we're actively investigating. We have designs for things we're looking to add into.
The forums are going to be lit today.
We're committing to today for that. And in terms of the actual price of that, we're evaluating things on like the gold economy, and we're taking a look at like what players are doing on a regular basis. We're not making any fundamental structural changes to today at this time, but we're satisfied with where things feel like in the 150. One thing we will be adding though is as part of seasons, there is now a new reward that you can collect as you're going through the season journey at the end of each season, called the Scroll of Amnesia.
Okay.
Which, once you collect a Scroll of Amnesia, you can use that one time to basically reset the entirety of a character all in one go for no gold cost at all. So these are going to be like pretty fun things to bring back with you to the Eternal Realm if you want to use for future playthroughs.
Bring back?
For that character or another character. So we're going to
Eternal?
We're like slowly adding a few of these as the players progressing through the experience. Kind of make that a little bit easier for players to go through.
And that Scroll of Amnesia is everything. It's all your skills, all your Paragon, everything goes to zero.
Yeah.
Awesome. For Immortal, we have a question from, I'm reading everyone's names, 8 Miles West. How much will the Blood Knight cost? I know we covered this early on, but if you guys want to reiterate.
The Blood Knight will cost nothing. The Blood Knight is free.
It's free. So if you're a new Immortal player, or you're a existing Immortal player, you can literally jump in, start playing the Blood Knight on day 1, which is on July 13th. So, and of course, you can play through the campaign, and we had mentioned that has essentially custom VO and everything associated with it.
That's right.
For D4, I should be more prepared with these.
That's usually that's a safe statement all the time. Is you should be more prepared.
Get that guy out of the room.
Right here, and I'm just like, awesome.
Perfect.
Little side story real quick. So we have a thing in design called design armor, where like as you're about to like talk about an idea with someone, you're like, this
Come
might
on,
be a really
lightning
bad
round.
idea, but
Lightning
that's
round.
shield thing. This is my
Q&A,
design armor.
shut
I know
up.
that this might be really, really bad, but we're talking about it anyway. So yes, I should probably be more prepared, but here we go. That's your design armor.
Question from Fig Lorna.
You committed to saying the names.
I know I did.
We don't want anyone to suggest that these are not good questions.
Yeah, from Fig Lorna. Will seasonal mechanics be added to the Eternal Realm after the season ends? I think that's something we didn't actually clarify really well.
That is a great question that actually gets asked internally as well a lot. Like, hey, this is awesome. Are we going to keep it around forever? Initially, no. Like, initially, the version of the melee mechanics that you're seeing are not planned to show up in the Eternal Realm. However, we are reserving the right as developers that if we see something cool and we think, wow, this is just fantastic, this should just be part of the game, that we will just make it part of the game. So it is absolutely an option. Some mechanics you might see in future seasons might be that way right away. We might be planning that, hey, this will show up in Eternal Realm right away. Others will evaluate them as we play them and then see if this is working really well. This is something that we want to integrate with the Eternal version of the game.
Yeah, I want to stay on this just 1 second longer. That's not to suggest that we're not going to be, as part of the seasons, intentionally using those update opportunities to create.
Does my character come back?
The base game, like stuff that will persist beyond
with his power,
the end of the season. But we really do want to hone in on the idea that we're like, Malignant Hearts are very powerful, as we talked about before. They're really, really cool. They're very exciting. We can't add something exciting like that every season if it's expected to all last, because the game's going to be a complete mess.
Right.
So we're not going to do that. What we would end up needing to do is all of those things would be extremely incremental in terms of what they offer.
It's not coming back.
Over the course of time. And it would make the game extraordinarily dense in terms of what the players expected to do.
Because you get too powerful.
We know that there's opportunities to extend things like add more endgame features. We know that there's more content that we want to add to the game in general.
It's not coming back.
Everybody's going to need forever, and we're going to be looking at those opportunities as we go. But things like Malignant Hearts we don't want to have something of that size in Season 1, then add something of similar size in Season 2, and then Season 3 and Season 4, because the game's going to get very extremely dense and difficult for players to really navigate. We want to be able to like take these things away, introduce new ideas, but having known what worked really well with Mulligan Hearts and what stuff we could maybe have improved upon, we get to take all those ideas forward.
It's a new game every 3 months.
Of the season is that when you're going in, these Malignant Hearts.
Yeah, it's going to be like,
so
we're going to talk about that, Con Man.
A player that, let's say, doesn't like to play alts except of the same class. I just love playing Barbarian, and
it's a new game every 3 months.
On Eternal because
if you're a big rogue player and all you play is rogues and all you do is build rogues,
there might be a lot of those too. But let's say a Barbarian, that's my hypothetical, I'm sticking with it. So I'm a Barbarian lover and I've made all these Barbarians. Season 1 is still an exciting time to make a new Barbarian because we have all of these new Malignant powers that allow you to make radically new builds that are completely different from Barbarians you played in the past.
It's a new game every 3 months. So is this game ready for that?
All of these powers just exist in the game forever. The whole idea
that's
is that
the question.
Every season is a fresh new experience that gives you builds that did not exist previously. So the idea is some of that stuff is always designed to go away.
Eternal is dead.
So, I mean, one of the things...
This is Rod off camera speaking.
Rod off camera. Hey, voice guy.
Joe.
Yeah. Get that guy out of here.
The fact that everybody starts at the same place this season is one of the benefits, so that people aren't like a year behind when they go to play Season 4.
Yeah, that's an important part of this as well. One of the reasons we really like the idea of letting players start back fresh and have like an economy reset, players really jumping back in the experience at level 1 with characters, is it allows us to focus on making sure the entirety of that journey is really engaging and exciting for players to go through. And we want to make sure, like by the end of the first session, for example, like you're getting exposed to like the new features and content available that we're introducing in that season. That everything feels like it's balanced in such a way that players can really enjoy the new things that we're adding in the way that they're kind of intelligently mixed with the rest of the features in the game itself. So that we think of that experience is.
I think I understand what's happening here.
Game in many ways, like making a new character, getting those item drops, like building up towards the end. With regards to like the way that we decided to conduct our efforts in seasons for Diablo 4, we think this is a really like the prime example of the way that we can make this work.
But I wanted you to hit on the point, the fact that if somebody buys the game,
yeah. They're not like fundamentally behind.
Yeah, if somebody, look, I'm gonna mess with the camera people. Can you? Yeah. You can't even do it, can you? You can't even get there. All we can do is I can just have my talking. Oh, hey, what's going on?
Would you leave?
The thing that we're talking about is that we want, again, the game is a live service. The game's gonna live for years. We want somebody who buys the game a year from now to not feel like they're a year behind when it comes to. So one of the benefits.
There's cookies in the other room. Go.
In Season 4, on day 1, you and I are both level 1. I bought it that day. You have owned the game for a year. We're in the same place, we can play together and have fun together. And so as opposed to everybody from this moment on is now falling behind, seasons allows us to have that fresh start for everybody, right?
Yeah, that's actually, I could have put it better myself. That serves as a really good opportunity for us to make sure the players have a starting point together.
That's my question.
A little bit later into the game experience. If you're taking a season or two off because something
does your character come back, and if he does, he's going to be
the most important thing for us.
Your new gems are gone. I mean, how does this work?
When you're playing seasons and you're playing Diablo 4, you're having a great time. And when you've reached all the goals and done the things that you think are really important, and you want to go like take a break to go play something else for a while, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's what they want.
Same thing.
You don't fall behind.
But when a season rolls and there's new things for you to come check out, that's a great time to come back. Particularly if you had a good time playing before. That's exactly when you should come back and check out Diablo 4 fresh.
Okay, I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When the next WoW expansion comes out, there's a non-zero chance that I'm going to play WoW for a while. But it's great to know there's a point that I can come back to Diablo 4 and everybody's on an even footing. Yeah.
Question here from Jeffrey Allen, and didn't specify the D4 or DI, so I'm actually going to ask both because I think this is relevant to both. Also,
why do you have a new mic?
I actually don't know. But yeah.
You get the cosmetics, that's it?
2 mics, guys. I'm very
I'm too mic Adam.
You have me in stereo. Can you say which cosmetics will be transferring between characters? So for instance, like for Diablo Immortal, we'll ask this specifically for Diablo Immortal, and then we'll talk about Diablo 4. But in regards to transferring cosmetics, like if you ended up buying a cosmetic in Diablo Immortal, does that actually also appear on the Blood Knight?
So cosmetics purchased prior
the
to
carrot, my barb,
retroactive. However, the
on Eternal,
Mother's Lament set,
all the work I put into him
will be available for the Blood Knight.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So going forward, there will be now new cosmetics available for the Blood Knight, just as they are for all the other classes in Immortal. And then I guess for D4, will cosmetics be transferring to seasons, and will they need to be reobtained? I know this was like a question that we get a lot from people in regards to transmogs, and if you salvage specific stuff, how does that work between characters from Eternal and Seasonal realms?
Yeah, I believe that's all transferring over with you when you go into the new season. And obviously, every cosmetic set that you're purchasing via the store and via the Battle Pass, that stuff also is going to be.
Who gives a rat's ass about cosmetics? I hate to be the one to say
the
it.
whole account has access to it forever. Is the current functionality?
Nice.
I shouldn't say it that way. It sounds like we're going to change it.
Yeah, don't use that word forever, ever.
Yeah. Let's see. Nightmare. This from Kincho Kimo. This is Nightmare Teleport was great, but why can't we just teleport right into dungeons rather than just to the entrance? So this one I think is interesting because Nightmare, we obviously incorporated the teleport here in 103. It was another thing that we had talked about where it was community feedback that we had gotten, and
you picked that as a question
to implement in a specific way. We
haven't you actually listened to someone
to players having to teleport
with that kind of stupid question?
Kind of go through like a couple load screens. It was a quick, implementation from the team and everything. So I know it's something that we've been hearing from our side, and it's something that we're going to be looking at more here in the future for optimizing and making sure that we can implement and maybe in a better way from some of the features that we've been just kind of adding in really quickly. On Immortal, we have. Was there some sort of Castlevania inspiration with the Blood Knight? Looking very, very.
With everything that's going on. Oh, you're transferring me to right at the entrance.
Very pretty.
It's one more click to get in. Oh, can you put me inside instead?
I think we've discovered Adam's kink, by the way.
With everything that's going on with this game.
Rod's mic now, so that's all we need to do. But yeah, was there any inspiration kind of thrown with the Blood Knight?
I think when you're working with a tropic idea in fantasy like vampires, you take inspiration from all over. The spear thing puts us in mind of Vlad the Impaler. The aesthetic, you've already talked about some potential references, but I think for us is as much like what we take out as what we leave in. We don't want the Blood Knight to feel like a grab bag of all vampiric myths. They are very specifically grotesque, blood, shadow, knightly weapons oriented, and so there were things.
I want this guy here.
Mist, like turning into wolves.
I would want him to marry my daughter.
These need to be off the table.
If I had one.
So in that regard, I think there's
because I'll never have to worry about him cheating on her.
Channeling, but there's also like a very dialed-in identity for the class.
Awesome.
Everybody knows that.
I would just have to worry about him eating her alive, though.
Let's see. In regards to Diablo 4, we have. Will you guys be nerfing or buffing in the middle of seasons, or will you be making changes after the season starts?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So.
This is from Godic, by the way. So there you go.
Okay,
I just wanted
to.
A
real person. So yes, this is a good question. So we made a number of adjustments during the preseason period to make sure that we're bringing some builds back into where we expect them to be functionally.
That's right, Zelgod. That's what I want to know.
The season release,
what happens at the end of a season with your character? Is it gone?
When we expect,
does it come back with all the gems and the powers?
So we have a regular set of patches that are going to be occurring after the season is released.
Does it come back naked, like you said?
We're talking about these things.
Without those things?
We really want to try to reserve big nerfs and big buffs for only extreme outlier cases, and things were really damaging the end game experience.
Okay, we know it won't have the gems.
So we want to try to keep that more constrained, and we also want to have fewer general, off cycle balance updates and things. So we're kind of keeping things more into this weekly cadence, like we talked about.
Which means we're on a regular seasonal treadmill.
Yeah, if one of the malignant powers, I know I've joked about them being broken. But if
it's
the
different.
Light's on fire when you use a malignant power, we're going to patch that. But otherwise, we're going to try and keep things stable.
I know
Diablo 3 has new gear that you get on the season, but that comes back. It comes back.
So I'm going to
True.
lightning off a few questions. a big question within chat is obviously about stash space, which is something that we kind of just talked about a little bit earlier.
I'll say real quickly though, like we definitely hear everybody about this. We are talking a lot about what we need to do with this. We've got good plans.
Zell, that's all I want to know.
The situation. I know it's frustrating to hear me say like, what you were able to do this, like you could be able to.
And if Conman's right,
like,
if the gyms don't come back,
really quickly on this, and we're going to be trying to
you have a 3-month, 3-month
and also one thing
you're working on.
I know we talked about during
and it's a reset
about how like
wait for the next league mechanic.
And so forth. We're going to be part of the materials,
and it's not retrofitted
in the future. So I know when that hits, like that will obviously free up a lot of stash space for users.
Ways to kind of like
PoE, they retrofit stuff through into the next league. Correct, Conman?
Jim, the Q guy, asked how much time between seasons. Still wants to level up his
main.
Okay. So in between seasons, obviously, there is. We had talked about seasons lasting 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
Weeks. Sometimes it might be a little longer, but you'll always have at least 12 weeks to complete your season.
Correct. Yeah. So you guys
12 weeks.
Base, right?
Yeah. So you guys will hear like no matter what within or like once we hit that 3-month period, you'll start to hear news about the next season actually hitting and everything.
So how long in between? How long in between?
This one, I guess for Rod, are there any plans on new classes coming to Diablo 4? We've just heard about the Blood Knight, so they're
we have nothing to announce at this time.
Oh, wow. That was very strange.
Yeah. Rod,
is it okay, Conman, if we go over this again? Is that okay with you?
So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it here for today.
How long between seasons? Did he say?
With Diablo Immortal for the Blood Knight coming out on July 13th. We also have for Diablo 4 Season 1, Season of the Malignant, which is going to be the patch will be on July 18th. And then the actual season starts on July 20th. We do actually have 2 blogs, one on DiabloImmortal.com and one on Diablo4.com. They'll be going live either right now.
Okay, Conman, thank you. This sounds about right.
They'll have all the details and information that we just talked about here on the stream. Yeah, lots of stuff coming up here for Diablo.
Patch this afternoon.
Oh yes, and there's a patch this afternoon. You'll be seeing.
Yeah, we know.
I forgot. That's why I have to do it immediately after the stream. I was trying to get out of it, guys. But we will have a patch. We'll have patch notes up on Diablo4.com. We have a patch article that will actually note, and we'll be updating people when that patch does hit. It is a client patch. It will require a download. It will be on all platforms. And yeah, lots of Diablo stuff coming up here in the next few weeks.
1 month
really
minimum?
excited.
Is that what he
Happy
said?
Diablo family.
So what do we do during that month?
Tons of stuff coming up. I know we will be rating 2 Diablo content creators immediately after the stream. One on Twitch, which is Barricade, and the other one on YouTube, which is Killswitch. So make sure to tune into those guys. And thank you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in to the Diablo Developer Update live stream. And from everyone here on the Diablo team, we hope you have a wonderful weekend.
No offense, Barricade, but I don't want to be a part of a raid. How did you get in this so quickly? Season 1 of the trailer starts 7/20. Malignant Hearts. Okay, we know about these details. This is good. Go in the forums if you want to look at these details. Tunnels, boss fights, battle pass. Season starts July 18th. Any updates? God, look at this. Maybe I could post a question here. Plans, new classes, nothing announced. How long the seasons last? Stash space. I want to reply. What happens to our seasonal character when the season ends? This person, like, let's see what's going on. How do you guys feel about this? You know what I mean? I mean, we know we have this kind of stuff in other games and different flavors. You got Diablo 3 where you go into the season and there's new gear sets, let's say. Season ends, I think everything you've earned comes back, including Paragon XP. incrementally added back to the regular game, including all your gear, your character, everything, all the gems. True? It all comes back. And but the thing about seasons in Diablo 3, you get a certain amount of break, and then the next season starts. How much time are you actually spending on the regular server relative to the seasonal server? I don't know what people have been doing the last 10 years in Diablo 3. PoE, if I got this correct, they have a new league with things, and there is a chance that that thing that happened during the league comes back to the game. And when the new league starts, that thing might get carried forward to the next league. Did I get that correct? Like, let's take an example. You know what? It's been so long since I played PoE. What's the one thing I never could figure out? Where you're pinning little things on the board with strings tied to them. And, that was a particular league, I think, and I think it keeps getting carried forward. So the game becomes bloated, right? Syndicate. I never could figure out the Syndicate. I never did the league. And stick around. Conman and others, I think you guys are really, know a lot about this stuff. So the Syndicate stays with the game. And I think even when the league starts, the Syndicate's there, correct? So the game becomes bloated. Now, at the end of PoE season, what happens to your character? And all the goodies. Comes back to the regular game, doesn't it? And it's viable. Anything that happened during a PoE season becomes viable on the main game, on the old game. What do you want to call it? The stable server, the old server, the persistent server, correct? Everything comes back. Of course, yes, we'll talk about that next. Now, what has occurred on these games? Definitely has occurred in PoE, and maybe not as much, but also occurred. Conman's got it right, I think, right there too, and also occurred on D3 to some degree. Now, I don't know about the length of the seasons in D3. I think there maybe is pretty long. So you come in and maybe you just bought the game, or maybe you play. I played Diablo 4 for a few weeks, and I'm like level 85, and I'm like, okay, I've had enough. Well, how are we going to solve that problem where you've already had enough? Are we going to come out with a huge content patch? World Tier 5? Take your character to the next level. World Tier 5? New dungeon structures, new gear to be had, you know what I mean? Blah, 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 more paragons, blah, 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 blah. No. The solution to that is, okay, go take a break, and Larry said, go take a break and do something else. Wait for Season 1. Come back when Season 1 drops. We're going to take some of your progress in the main game and carry it into the season. Your character's not coming, but some of your progress is. Up to a certain point of renown comes in. You've already done the Lilith statues. That comes in, right? The Lilith statues come in. You're going to get 9 health pots instead of 4. You finished the campaign already. You don't have to do that again. So a whole new batch of stuff comes in on Season 1 for Diablo 4. You come into Season 1. Okay, I'm ready to come back to Diablo. Let's play Season 1. I'm going to make a druid. And we got a new NPC to go talk to. And we got a whole bunch of new stuff. There's corruptions and gear. There's new gems and upgrades and corrupted tunnels, and let's go make a strong character. Let's go get to level 50. Let's go work into the Paragon system. Let's go make glyphs. 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, 6 weeks later, you're like, I'm kind of bored. I've had enough. I'm going to go play another game. That's exactly what they're okay with. Go play. You've done 6 weeks. Go play another game now. There's still several weeks left here if you want to come back and goof around. Season ends. Season ends. You're off playing some other game. You're playing Starfield or something. Season ends in Diablo 4. They take a break. They do a huge reveal for Season 2. Huge reveal. Oh, by the way, your character. All that stuff you worked for on Season 1, the gems, all that cool stuff, ain't coming back. It's a one and done. Correct, guys? Conman, correct? Am I on the right track here? It ain't coming back. You're not going to progress your character on Eternal through a game like you would on an MMO. Correct, guys? They're not going to come out with content for you to progress your character on Eternal. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Now, maybe in the future they will. Guys, they will. Expansions. Expansions are coming to the game. Let's not forget. Seasons are an option. Conman and others, guys, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do seasons. That is a main takeaway here. Right, guys? You do not have to do this. But don't do seasons thinking that you're going to bring up a whole bunch of stuff back with you to make your character more powerful. Correct, guys? Correct? Correct? Yeah, seasons, I think the way this is going to be is seasons are optional. Don't expect that stuff to come back and make your character on Eternal stronger. True or false? Because in Diablo 3, your Paragon XP does come back. Does come back. So let's look at it this way. Yeah, they have the right. They might come back and say, oh, we'll add a little bit. But what happens to the character that you worked on? Okay, we're getting somewhere, right? The character you worked on during the season. I got all these cool gems and powers, and they're like, no, that can't come back because we'll get bloat. You'll become so powerful that we'll never be able to do anything to match up to it. So that stuff is just for seasonal play. Have some fun. Get OP for a few weeks or a couple of months, and say, hey, I had a good time. It was a good time. That's seasons. They might bring some of that content back in if it's good, but your progression doesn't come back. In Diablo 3, your XP for your Paragons comes back. Comes back. Now, here's the scenario. We know in Diablo 3 they kept making seasons. What if? What if they did 10 seasons in Diablo 3? And then they said, guys, we're taking a break from seasons. We have a gigantic expansion coming for Diablo 3. It's called blah, blah, blah. It's huge. It's an expansion for Diablo 3. It is not a season. You know what I'm going to think to myself? I'm going to be like, hey, all the Paragon XP that I earned during the seasons that came back to me on the regular server, it's mine. It was worth doing seasons in Diablo 3 because all that Paragon XP came back. Even the gear came back. The gear sets came back. In Diablo 4, when you do seasonal content, there's like a 95% chance that everything you do there doesn't matter when they come out with expansions for Diablo 4. Guys, am I kind of right? Am I kind of right? We are getting expansions. We are getting expansions to Diablo 4. Eternal is relevant. It will be relevant. We are going to get expansions. We're going to get World Tier 5. We're going to get a whole bunch of new loot. We're going to get new classes. We're going to get different dungeon structures. We're going to get different ways to work our glyphs. When you do your glyphs and paragons in the seasonal content, that XP is not coming back. True? True? I can't take that glyph XP and bring it back to Eternal and apply it. That's the kind of it, that's what I need to know. That's what I need to know. In Diablo 3, your Paragon XP comes back, and it's kind of, it's mathematically retrofitted in. If I upgrade a glyph in Diablo 4 Season 1, does that XP come back for me so I can apply it to the main game? And if anyone says, well, the main game doesn't matter, and I'll say, no, it does, because we're getting expansions. We are getting expansions for Diablo 4. It does matter. True? I think I'm in the ballpark here. Seasons in Diablo 4 are purely optional. Purely optional. You don't have to do them. No, that's what I'm trying to say. It looks the expansions are coming to Diablo 4. I don't have to do any seasons if I don't want it. I don't think I'm going to lose anything. True or false? No, I don't agree. The main game is not seasons. The main game is eternal, and we're waiting for the first expansion. Seasons are just a fun thing to do outside of it. Almost completely separate. You're not bringing anything back. Are you? Are you bringing anything back or not? Eternal's going to be a graveyard until we get the first expansion. Hello? Crypto, I don't know what your question is. We are post-stream analysis right now. Anyone that's in here, we are post-dev stream analysis. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work like PoE. PoE doesn't give you expansion. You know what the first expansion is for PoE? It's PoE 2, no? Your expansion for PoE is, but they bring back a lot of the League stuff. PoE 2 is your first expansion. Do you guys see what I'm trying to do here? I think I could legit skip seasons if I want to in Diablo. Unless I'm a big streamer and I need stuff to stream. You know what I mean? Why should I make a new class in Diablo Seasons? Just to play it as a new class and the new mechanics. Nothing's coming back. True or false? The gems aren't coming back. That's a season mechanic. What about the glyphs I work on? The Paragon points? The Nightmare dungeons? Is anything coming back? Is the XP coming back that I can apply? Because I've got expansions coming. Eternal has a purpose because we are going to get expansions. True or false? Or expansions going to, what is happening? PoE has expansions that are not seasons. So, we are doing post-stream analysis right now. And the entire thing that we did today will be up as a VOD automatically on YouTube because I'm live streaming on YouTube and Kick. And if anyone's on YouTube, if you'd like to see, I don't know, I stream on Kick now and YouTube. I do not stream on Twitch anymore. You get all the good stuff in Eternal that they add in Seasons, which are legendaries, aspects, and uniques. So the gear, some of the gear comes back. That's all I want to know is what comes back. Okay, they become non-seasonal characters like the ones you have right now. Okay, that's not helping. Okay, this person says they become like a regular character. So what comes back? What comes back? So your aspects come back. What do I do with my glyph? Can I take the glyph and apply the XP to my current glyphs? So legendaries come back, aspects come back, uniques come back, but all the League mechanic stuff does not. Your character comes back, I want to know if there's a reason to do seasons or not. Because we're going to get expansions. And expansions, I'll be able to take my existing character and, let's say, go to World Tier 5. I don't have to start over. I don't have to start over. Yeah, you can talk about fun. I'm talking, like, I'm trying to be objective here. Yeah, do you want to do corruptions? We know about the fun factor. I'm talking about, like, I got other games I'm going to be playing. So, but if I know expansions are coming in the future, I want to be prepared for those expansions. And is there unique gear coming that's going to come back to the regular realm? So I'm looking for reasons to skip seasons because I got other games I want to play. See, you know, you think I like, you know, everything I do for a reason. You think I just kind of just throwing crap against the wall for no reason? I want to know if I can, like, you know, if I skip seasons, am I okay? So I got other stuff I could be doing. If we're getting expansion, I want to take all my character that I worked on. Guys, this game has got a lot of friction. I'm not doing those glyphs again. I ain't doing those glyphs again unless that XP comes back for me. I ain't doing this crap again. I'm not doing that renown again. The only way that I would play this season is for streaming purposes. I'll be honest with you. It's just for streaming purposes, having something to stream. Otherwise, if I was not streaming, I'm already trying to do some analysis here, my opinion on seasons, unless they give me some more information. Based on what they said today, and we got to make a few assumptions. If I wasn't streaming, I would not be playing seasons. Okay? That's my personal, it's up to you guys if you want to play or not. But for me, here's a thing here, season 1 kind of seems very underwhelming. Yeah, but that's a league mechanic. I mean, I think the mechanic is fine. I think it's pretty good. But I'm just want to know, like, why should I, like, I don't think I even need to do this, dude. I'm going to create a new character, go chase renown, go do whispers. The game ain't that great, is what I'm trying to say. I like strongholds. The nightmare dungeons suck, in my opinion. They're terrible. They're good to get aspects, but nightmare dungeons are not structured well to farm over and over and over again, especially with the sigils. These are my opinions. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for me to do the exact same content over again. You know, if I'm trying to fill out the renown and get Paragon points and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to make a judgment call here. If I wasn't streaming, based on what I know right now, I would not be playing seasons. How do you guys feel about it? Do you want to play seasons? It's a personal choice. Personal choice. There's no right or wrong here. Testing new builds with the sockets. Yeah, but the sockets are going away. Mr. Conman. Where's Mr. Conman? He seems to be an expert. Right here. Are these sockets going away or not? I think if I wasn't streaming, for sure, I don't see myself playing this game until an expansion comes out. Right, Conman? We only have space for 10 characters. Yeah, what are they going to do when all these characters start coming back? You lose the sockets unless they change it. Okay. Because I think people are going to be playing the season. They're going to be like, I think midway through, some people are going to be like, this comes back, right? This ring with the special socket and the gem, I mean, it comes back, right? That's going to be the question they're going to hear over and over again. And what's going to happen is the company's going to say, hey, guys, guess what's coming in the next few months? The first expansion is coming. And then someone's going to be playing the season. They're going to go, great, my malignant socket comes back, doesn't it? So that I could work that into the new expansion. Those are going to be those kind of questions. Damn, look at these write-ups. Holy frick. There is no reason to make, like, you got everything you need here on these forums if you're looking for all the, like, the TLDR. I regret my Ultimate Edition purchase. I'll play for exactly 11 days and bail when Baldur's Gate 3 releases. They need to give us more in-game content for us to do and chase. I don't find the non-existent in-game enjoyable. Yeah, but I thought this thread was talking about seasons. They are adding new uniques and legendary powers. I also expect more balanced update. There's other things that need fixing. But those are separate from what seasons are because they need to fix, okay, Eternal Realm. I mean, if I go in to the season and do all this stuff and work on my exploit glyph in seasons, does that XP come back? I don't think so. Does my glyph XP come back? Does my Paragon XP come back so that I could, a certain, like the Paragon XP you got in Diablo 3, does some of that come back so I can use it here because of the expansion that's coming in the future? Big questions. Favorite method would be to BDO. Yeah, well, BDO seasons are totally different, right? BDO is implemented as part of the game. I don't know. No, I'm talking about XP. I'm talking about XP between the season and XP between the Eternal. So I think what Conman is saying is if you work on your exploit glyph on the season, when that character comes back, he gets his glyph, but that's all. You don't apply that to your other barb or whatever. It's just you just get that stuff back. So character level, yeah, okay. So I think you could make a new class on the season, and a lot of the stuff you do does come back. Let's say you just bought the game and you're just starting, like, you just finished the campaign. You want to make a new class. That stuff will come back, right? So if I make a druid on seasons and, I get new glyphs that are good for the druid and new paragons, all that stuff comes back. True. And most of the gear, it's just the mechanics don't come back. The special battle pass boosts don't come back. The gold boost doesn't come back. The gem socket doesn't come back. But a bunch of other stuff does. Maybe that's how it works. Maybe the statement should be, if you're thinking of making a new class, maybe do it in the season. Because the content will feel more fresh. Some of your powers during the season is not going to come back, but a lot of other stuff is. Maybe that's another way to state it. Maybe. Use the powers that you get during the season to really advance your class, your new class that you're playing on the season, so that you push him further relative to if you had made that new class on the Eternal Realm. Make a new class on the season server, because there are things built into the season server that allow you to push that character through the game quicker and better and funner with these new mechanics. When the season's over, he comes back. You lose the season stuff, but he's got a bunch of other things that come back, and now he's ready for the first expansion. So maybe that is an option. Maybe that's an option. I'm trying to think of different possibilities here, guys. Trying to think of different possibilities. because you purposely left out massive chunks of content that's coming just to complain. It's a free seasonal patch, not an expansion. This is a ton of new stuff to do, and they'll keep building off of it, okay? You didn't include new item, gear, builds, legendaries, uniques, events, story, or anything. Yeah, well, yeah, but does that come back? Because I want to be prepared for expansions. And go tell PoE players a new season sucks because a lot of content affects standard league. No one cares. They play seasons anyway. Okay. But PoE is different because a lot of that stuff comes into the next season. The Syndicate keeps coming in, right? The Syndicate is a permanent part of PoE. Seasons are trying new classes. I think I agree. Yeah, and you're right. I heard they're already working on the first expansion. I thought Diablo 4 was going to be, here's my problem, probably. I thought Diablo 4 was going to be launch, fix, QOL, fix, QOL, fix, expansion 1. World Tier 5, fix, balance, fix, new class. Fix, balance, fix, expansion 2. Fix, balance, everyone's happy, give this, give Jim stat, bid, fix. We're done with expansions for a few years. Here's season 1. This game is built out. We gave you 2 humongous expansions in addition to everything else. We're going to go into season mode now. Just like Diablo 3. That's what I was expecting. It's silly me. So I'm a little bit confused is all. I'm just a little bit confused. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now another question is, look at the game. Do you guys play Diablo 4, right? Yeah, it looks like, you guys play this game. Do you think seasons, the way they've defined them, fit into the current state of Diablo 4 just fine? That's a question that I think everyone has to answer for themselves. Yeah, and I have a feeling that you don't have to be level 100. We already have the end game gear that's in this game. You start getting in World Tier 4. You don't have to be level 100 if you don't want. So that's what I was expecting. I was expecting launch, tons of QOL, expansion 1, tons of QOL, new classes, expansion 2. Then the game starts aging a little bit. Okay, guys, time to go into seasons now. Something like that. I'm a little bit taken aback. I don't know what I'm going to do. Everyone's going to have to PoE. So yeah, if you're a PoE person, you're used to you live in the seasons, you live in the leagues, you create a new character. The question is, does the friction, how long does it take in PoE for you to get to mapping? The friction of your journey into the game. Is Diablo 4 ready for you to have to make another new character after 5 weeks of already making one? I don't know, man. Leaderboards, yeah. They told us already. They said, "Oh, we're working on expansions." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." Let's I wonder, though, if seasons are kind of a placeholder to keep people busy until the expansion comes out. You know what I mean? In PoE, you live for seasons. You live for seasons. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, because the clock is ticking. This year is already, you know, before you know, we'll be in the fall already. This year is flying by. I think for me, yeah, I think what they're doing is they're giving you stuff to do while they work on the huge expansion. And I think it's right. It's going to take, you're looking at probably spring of next year. Probably. And I think one expansion per year is probably the right way to do it. Look at World of Warcraft. It's every 12 to 18 months. You want to look at, and like I didn't say expansion was going to come right away. But I thought we just got this new game. I thought that they would be spending the first 6 months just fixing everything and, you know, all these patches and just a bunch of like QOL and stuff like that. I mean, these guys have lives too, you know. I mean, they can't sit there for 24 hours a day working on the game. Now, I totally believe one expansion per year is probably the right way to go. We have a prologue, we have an analog for this, and that's Neverwinter, which comes out with upwards of 3 or 4 per year, and they're all bad. They're all pretty bad. I would rather have 1 per year that's like off the charts. Amazing. And so maybe the way it is okay, look, forget about Diablo 3. The way we're going to do things is we're going to come out with the game, we're going to fix bugs, do QOL patches, but we're going to do seasons first. Every seasons are going to go 3 months with a break, 3 months with a break. We also have another team working on the first huge expansion. That'll come around 9 months or so. And the cadence for that will be approximately 1 per year. Seasons, do them if you want. Don't do them if you don't want. It's up to you. When the expansion comes out, I don't know how they're going to work expansions. I don't know if expansion is going to be a season, but with everything coming back over. You know what I mean? I don't know. Not like I don't even know if that means it's a season or not. And I think what they stated, yeah, and I'll rechat too. I agree. They stated that we can't bring all this power back to the main game and into the next seasons, and like what PoE does. We can't bring all this power back because you'll become bloated with power and we'll never be able to keep up with you. PoE and Diablo have different players. They are different. And there are some people that project their play of PoE onto Diablo. And it's a mistake. It's a mistake. PoE is different, I believe. Seasons is a great way to introduce new content on a regular basis. Yes. They need to add leaderboards. So there's something. Oh yeah. So there are no leaderboards, are there? I would be careful if you are really into PoE. Be careful about projecting your PoE play into Diablo. We know PoE is, you make a new character, brrr, there is no stability in PoE in terms of like, you know, there is no main character, you know. You don't have a main, right, in PoE. Your main is your new character when the new league starts or whatever. Is Diablo 4 going to be the same way? I don't know. I don't think so. The expansion should be the delineation. You are not going to get world tier. Thank you for the follow, Voy. Thank you. There's that Voy from Twitch. Thanks for finding me here. That's another, I think, if it's the same Voy, it's a knowledgeable person. Scared PoE's complexity. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and I've been trying to get the word out to let people know. I mean, even now I put an introductory video on my Twitch channel to say I'm over here on Kick now. We're done with Twitch. Like, there's got to be like a really, really big reason to stream on Twitch again. Thank you guys. I put a video on YouTube. I got the thing that I'm trying to get the word out to let people know I'm over here. Now you're going to have to make an ID. You don't have to worry about ads. There's no ads on Kick. So the question for me is, okay, so guys, let's just cover this real quick. We are getting Season 1. That starts July 20th. And if you go to the forums, you'll see a whole bunch of recaps on every little thing that happened during the stream. Okay? Everything. I can't wait to read the forums on the big screen later today. There's going to be a patch today. Patch notes are coming out later today. If they come out with patch notes, let me know so we can look at it real quick. Ooh, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, isn't it like nap time for me? It looks like Diablo 4 seasons are going to suck. Blizzard, please make it fun. Like, who are you? Oh, I can't wait to read these things. These guys are such doomers. On a side note, Diablo 4 cat, no. There's a whole bunch of streamers bigger than me on Kick. I'm not even close. Yeah, come on over to we're over here. We're over here on Kick from now on. Totally. No way. No way. No way. What happened to everyone? Where'd everyone go? Where did everyone go? Where's all the there were like 10,000 frickin' Diablo 4 streamers on Kick. All these new streamers came into Kick? Yeah, among the very top. Okay, I know I'm not at the top. You aren't, yeah, you guys don't even, there's a ton of big streamers, Diablo 4. A ton of them. I ain't even near. I ain't even close. Be trolling me. There's 2,200. Look at this, 540 viewers, 75, 72, 54. Look, I'm not even in, look at this. You guys are lying. I'm way down. Look at it, 29 viewers. I don't know why anyone would want to watch any of these people outside of me, but hey, well, I can't tell people where to go. You know what I mean? You all suck, as far as I'm concerned. Just kidding. Yeah, I gotta keep scrolling down. Why would you say that? You guys. I do look at, like, the main, like, for and oh, I'll tell you right now, if I was streaming on Twitch, I'd have the same number of viewers. I would have the same number of viewers. And this is not my normal streaming time. Most of the people that watch me are from Europe. It's in the middle of the night in Europe right now. My streaming time when I stream is usually 7 hours earlier than right now. So anyone that's here, I mean, this is totally out of the norm for me to be streaming at this point in time in the day. So thank you for being here. Plus, we're on a new platform. If I was on Twitch right now, I would be buried down. I'd have less viewers than I have right now. Less. You guys need to know. You guys need to learn how to look like. You guys need to learn how to look at like categories on these streaming platforms. Yeah, the forums are going to be fun to read later. But still, you could see. Let's since we're here, let me show you. I'd have the same number. Yeah, and I'd be doing like I'd have the same viewers on Twitch after streaming there since 2016. What was I going to look at? I mean, just look at some of these games. I mean, you know, look, a Kick has got a long way to go. You want to talk about Path of Exile? Path of Exile has 54 viewers on Kick. Path of Exile. Just shows you, when I say we are ground floor here on Kick, we are ground floor. Look at this. PoE has 54 viewers on Kick. Diablo has 2,000. 2,000. Are they doing the Prime Mount thing again? Yeah. Yeah, I'm much higher up on Kick than I would be on Twitch. That's the point, right? If you can get more than 20 viewers on Kick, coming in here without being like a big streamer coming over, you're doing pretty good. I don't know what I'm going to do on my next stream. I'm just trying to think about it. We actually have a new class for Diablo Immortal starting on the 13th. I'm really looking forward to Manor Lords. Kind of a build-it game. Okay, so anyway, I don't want to overstay my welcome here, guys. I think we're done for today. And I appreciate you guys coming in. And Voy, thanks for coming over. How many follows do we have now? I want to get to 75. We're getting closer, right? We're getting closer. 75, you get affiliated. It doesn't matter. I just kind of a goal kind of thing. We're at 62. 62, nice. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for coming in over here. I'm going to have a good time today. I'm going to read these forums. There's going to be so many salty tears, misunderstandings, basement dwellers that need to go out and get a life. Guys, I went to the gym today. It felt so freaking good. It felt so good to push a little bit of iron. It felt good to push a little bit of iron. I can't wait to go back. I have been sloughing off on going to the gym. I jogged to the gym. I pushed a little bit of iron, and it was good. I can't wait to go back. Yeah, the gym rat. I'm not a gym rat. I go in, I get it done, and I get the hell out of there. Otherwise, then you just hate going to the gym. Yeah, thank you. And then anyone on YouTube, thanks. Sally, thanks for sticking around today. There's going to be a patch today. I got to decide what my future is on Diablo 4. That's what I got to decide. You know what I mean? I got to decide. Chances are the plan is to stream a new Druid when Season 1 comes out. July 20th. All the details are here in the forums about if you want to learn about the season. You don't have to do the season. You're probably looking at the degree of Conman. Expansion's probably coming next year. Next year for probably first quarter. For Diablo 4. Go do something else then. Diablo 4 is like Diablo 3. Come back and play for a while, play a few weeks, and then go do something else. Come back play for a while and go do something else. It's not like an MMO where you invest your life into it, you know. I can't wait to read this stuff later today. Okay, so next stream, I don't know. I'd like to find another game to start. I've been streaming No Man's Sky, but I've played so much of it already in the past, it doesn't feel fresh. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, guys. And I wish I just, like, I got to find out more about Baldur's Gate. I don't know if I'm going to like it. Starfield is definitely going to be my game. We're going BD into Starfield when it comes out. For better or for worse. We're going BD into Starfield for better or for worse. New game. But that's September 1st. And I don't want to go BDO. I don't want to go BDO and not Fallout 76 again. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I really love No Man's Sky, but I've done it all. I just did it. Oh, I already did everything last year. Yeah, I heard that. You guys don't, and then again, don't believe anything I say. I'm as fickle as a 14-year-old girl. You never know what I'm going to do. I might take a break. Thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate it. I know Gail's playing Fallout 76. Diablo 4 Season 1 on the 20th. Guys, Diablo Immortal new class on the 13th. Should I? Should I? Should I? Should I? I don't know. We'll see. Fickle is old man with dementia. I feel like dementia is starting to set in. I really do. Yeah, thank you guys. You don't trust, and I don't know. I've looked at Subnautica so many times, and for some reason I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. But anything that's got deep crafting, extraction and crafting, I'm always willing to look at. Manor Lord, I definitely want to play when Manor Lord comes out. We'll take a look at that. Some of these Build It games. Yeah, I mean, I'll take a look at Subnautica again. Thanks, A13. Thank you guys for sticking around. Kick's, yeah, Kick, biggest video Kick. Oh, I feel sorry, guys. There's like thousands of these streamers came into Kick. Because, you know how it is. XQC came over, thousands of streamers came in, and I've been on Kick since, like, I don't go to Twitch anymore. All these streamers that have come in, Diablo and other games and Fortnite and Satisfactory even, I've been watching them. They're coming in, hey! They're streaming for 3 hours to 0 viewers. And I'm like, I just wish, just talk to me first before you decide to be a streamer. Just talk to me first so that I could slap you in the face and say, don't do it. Don't do it. You're just going to be disappointed. Don't do it. Thank you guys for coming in. There's something called Manor Lord. Manor Lords. Manor Lords. It's like a Build It game. I don't know, Manor Lord, something. I'm looking forward to get back into some Build It game stuff. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? Don't be like me. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. And, yeah, I mean, we look at how we thought. Oh, before I go, look at how we do things here. I don't like, I personally, I just don't feel there's any other channel that does what we do here when there's a dev stream. You know what I mean? And I learned a long time ago in college, one of the few things I learned, when facts change, my opinion changes. I don't get married to anything. If I see facts change, I'll change my opinion. We take a stupid dev stream and we break it down, and we try to wade through the details to see like what's here in front of us. That's why like during a dev stream I don't do gameplay, because it's just going to take away from the analysis. So we just keep throwing stuff against the wall, and we just keep saying, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? keep reworking with the formula to see what the decisions are going to be. What am I ultimately going to decide to do? There's not a lot of streams that do this. So I figure you guys know that's how we handle these things. So I feel like you've come to the right place with your help, because I can't do it alone. So thank you guys for coming in. Thank you. 50 guys, there were times I was doing Neverwinter streams where I said goodbye, and it was an hour later before the stream shut down. Ask around about that. There's some people that know about that. 813 knows about that. Thank you guys. Have a great day.